Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, yes, girl. Get your cup of tea and mic check, 1, 2. I am so ready.
To inspire, motivate, and educate. Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we.
News, interviews, hot topics. Connect with us. Let us know what's on your mind. Follow, comment, subscribe.
We're everywhere. UME Radio app, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, and all other digital platforms. Email us info@umeradio.com. On WhatsApp, 201-503-6731. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio. Follow me, Jessie, on Instagram at ink.jess, that's ink.jess, and on Facebook at Jesselyn Abel, that's JESSELYNE, Abel, ABEL.
And follow me, Marsha J, on all social media platforms at official Marsha J. Or you can just check out marshajnow.com.
Weekends on UME Radio with Marsha J and Jessie.
I'm the voice of positive influencers.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Morning, Marsha.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning. We redecorated.
Yes. Ooh, I love your earrings, girl. My hair
Thank
is
you. Thank you. Yes.
My hair did not want to cooperate. I did this new wax paint dye thing. So
Yes, I love the color. Purple is royalty.
I love purple. It's my favorite color, girl. It's my favorite color.
How are you though?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about what's coming up this episode because it's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of cuteness. It's gonna be a lot. But I want to say to everyone out there on YouTube, on all our platforms, thank you so much and welcome to Weekends with Marsha J and Jessie. And we're looking forward to an awesome season. It has been awesome, right, Marsha?
Yes, it has been.
Mm-hmm. And we are inside episode 8 of season 2. We want to say a big thank you to all our partners, supporters, listeners, and viewers from all over the world. We'll be having conversations that will help you. So please join us in the comment section down below. If you need advice or answers to a question to help you grow, also leave it in the comment, or you can email us at info@umeradio.com. It is our hope that this family program will become a resource for you to be inspired, motivated, and educated. So welcome to Weekends with Marsha J and Jessie on UME Radio. I'm Jessie, and I'm here with my awesome, amazing host,
Marsha J.
Marsha. It's April 3rd, 2021, Easter weekend, and the time is now 8:02 in the morning. Thank you so much again for joining us. We are right now live on YouTube. We want to say hello to everyone that's watching.
Yeah, I'm seeing Lady Latoya J. Hey.
Hey, how you doing? Let us know where you're tuning in from. I absolutely love to know where people are tuning in from. And don't be afraid to connect with us. There are multiple ways for them to do that, right, Marsha?
Yes, there are. And so we can be heard on the following platforms or apps. We are on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, iTunes Podcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Podbean, TuneU, Live 365, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, and listen notes. We are growing. We are, right?
Oh.
And so we also want you, especially if you're on YouTube, to check out our description bar for discounts and specials from the following. We have Google Workplace, we have Amazon, Aquasana, Shop Macy's, Shop Simply Wholesale, Incorporate.com, Smarter Loans, Recover Pro, get your e-commerce store. That's something that you all need to do. Start your podcast and definitely refer to earn. And so with that being said, yeah, it's coming up on the screen. We have Aquasana, Incorporate.com, a little bit about that. And listen, you can get this information on our website as well, umeradio.com. Just check them out. You just have like a listing and a link. But if you're on the website, it's also there on the website. All right. And so, with that being said, we want to tell you what's coming up in today's program, today's podcast. We have our morning inspiration. Yes. And right after that, we'll be having the news. Of course, we take the news from the front page of the New York Times, African news, and the Caribbean news provided to us. Definitely. Then we have our spotlight feature, as usual, for this week, and we are being deliberate in emphasizing the UDMI free book because we know there's something special about it, right?
Yeah.
And we have then our inspiration guest, our weekly inspirational guest, which is Coach Raquel, and she will be talking to us about 21 ways to deal with negative energy. That was a power pause right there because I know we understand
Yeah.
negative energy.
There's
We
a
just
lot of
sometimes,
it.
yeah, we don't know how to deal with that. And then inside our lifestyle segment, we're going to have wealth mindset. And today we're going to be talking about scarcity versus abundance. Right? And then in our wellness, 8 warning signs when buying exercise equipment.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's an actual thing. We don't want any accidents
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah.
All right. And then of course we have 100 hacks that will save your life. Yes. And then our second spotlight feature, and we can't wait to talk about this. UMERADIO is having their first week of prayer that goes along with a challenge. Awesome stuff. We can't wait to let you know what the entire week is going to look like, what all the add-ons are. So we're going to get to that in our second spotlight. And then at 10 a.m., we have coming to us Miss Toni Belafonte, actress, and she's going to be talking to us about a very interesting topic. And of course, we have our DJ top 5 playlist. It's the end of the month, but guess what? We're going to wait some more to see what the results are like because we're waiting on a certain person to catch up, okay? To catch up. Right. And we have Travel Boss, where I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you if you're outside of the country and your debit card is expired, what really goes down where that is concerned. Right. And then we have another spotlight feature, and our quiz competition today is actually going to be an Easter egg hunt.
I'm so excited for that.
I am so scared for that because I know you have 4 eyes and I have 2.
Listen. I need these sets to see, okay? If I don't have these sets, I am blind. So that, you have a perfect set right there.
Yes. Right. And then because we have Miss Jalen and Brown that's gonna come in from We Care to Share Foundation. Looking forward to that. Then we have another spotlight feature and then picture of the day. You guys have to really see the picture for today because it is absolutely heartwarming. You know, it's even more warming than your cup of tea right now.
I know.
All right. So that's what we have in store today, Jessie.
I'm excited. I want to know. Well, I don't know what part I'm more excited of. I know whenever Coach Raquel comes on, I wasn't meant to get this emotional, but whenever she comes on, I just feel it. So I think that's one of my favorite parts.
Oh, I know. I feel like it's going to be a good day because, you know, we are inside April and it's Easter, girl.
Yes.
Hold on, before we get into things, what are some of your Easter traditions, though?
Well, we would go to church. My mom and I, especially growing up, we would go to church as a family, get all dressed up and stuff like that. We'll have like a small Easter dinner amongst my mom and dad and my brother and myself. And then sometimes my mom, this is when we were really younger, would actually do like a mini Easter egg hunt. We didn't do like the dyeing of the Easter eggs, but you know those the plastic ones that you could put like candy or like money or stuff inside.
Oh, okay.
So she would do that. And
well, listen, I'm a Jamaican, so explain this whole Easter egg hunt thing to me.
I honestly don't know. My mom adopted. I think we adopted it just as American tradition, but I don't think culturally it was a thing even for them. But I I don't honestly don't know. I know there's an Easter bunny involved who hides the eggs, and the kids are supposed to find the eggs and collect like little prizes or what that has to do with Jesus. I don't know to this day. None of us. I don't think even Americans know how it came about. How it came about.
Wow.
But yeah, she would do that and would have like little like 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, that kind of thing, or some candy, and my brother and myself would try to see who could, catch as many eggs as possible. But
Okay.
yeah,
So it's like timed. So the hunt is timed, and then you guys go.
it's kind of time. Yeah, it's timed. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Here in Jamaica, we have a lot of bun and cheese. We have a lot of fish, like fried. We call it escovitch fish. That is,
Yep.
the seasonings are soaked in vinegar and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of keep it light. There is a change in diet. There's a whole change in diet during Easter.
Yes.
It's not fish, it's bun and cheese, right? And that's like a sweet confectionery that we have. And it pairs well with cheese. And yeah, we just kind of take some time to reflect. There's the Good Friday service, there's Easter Sunday, and I'm not sure if I should be saying this, but that's the time most people come out for church.
I know the lines will be wrapped right around. I'm just like, you weren't here last week. You weren't here 2 weeks ago. It wasn't Easter, but you here all dressed up now. But you know what? Maybe it's that time sometimes where people realign, or maybe it's the first time that they actually heard of Jesus, and it just happens to be on Easter Sunday. That's a good thing. Did you have your fish yesterday for Good Friday?
Actually, I didn't. And my favorite on Easter is actually sprat. They're like little tiny fish, just like your tallest finger going down to here. Very tiny, and the bones are really soft. So when
Yeah.
you fry it, it's like so crispy, and just wrap it around some warm bread and you're good to go.
That's it.
But I didn't, I
Yeah.
really missed that though, because we're on curfew and lockdown. You
Right.
only like purchase the necessities.
Mm-hmm. I happened to
Yeah.
cook like salmon for the week kind of thing. So I had some like leftover, so I was able to
Oh, I
do
like
that.
salmon. Yeah. Tell us in the comments, guys, what do you do for Easter? Like, type and tell us, and we'll bring it up on the screen and share with everybody what you do for Easter, all right? So, we're going to talk about riding the waves inside our devotional this morning. Listen, everybody knows about a wave, figuratively speaking. That point in your life where everything's just kind of, oh, Lord, I need you kind of moment, right? And so we're going to do our devotional on that this morning. All right. So we want to thank our daily bread for this devotion. So our text this morning is coming to us from Psalm 89, and I'm going to be reading from 5 to 17. And I'm reading from the New International Version. Yeah. So it says, "The heavens praise your wonders, Lord, your faithfulness too, in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies above can compare with you, Lord? Who is like the Lord among the heavenly beings? In the council of the holy ones, God is greatly feared. He is more awesome than all who surround him. Who is like you, Lord Almighty? You, Lord, are mighty, and your faithfulness surrounds you. You rule over the surging seas. When its waves mount up, you still them. You crushed Rahab like the one of the slain. With your strong arm, you scattered your enemies. The heavens are yours, and yours also the earth. You founded the world and all that is within it. You created the north and the south. Tabor and Hermon sing for joy at your name. Your arm is endowed with power. Your hand is strong, your right hand exalted. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne. Love and faithfulness, it goes before you. Blessed are those who have learned to acclaim you, who walk in the light of your presence, Lord. They rejoice in your name all day long, and they celebrate your righteousness, for you are their glory and strength. And by your favor, you exalt our horn. And I want to zoom in on verse 8. Who is like you, Lord God Almighty? You, Lord, are mighty, and your faithfulness surrounds us. So the story says, as my husband strolled down the rocky beach taking photos of the Hawaiian horizon, I sat on a large rock fretting over another medical setback. Though my problems would be waiting for me when I returned home, I needed peace in that moment. I stared at the incoming waves crashing against the black, jagged rocks. A dark shadow in the curve of the wave, it caught my eye. Using the zoom option on my camera, I identified the shape of a sea turtle riding the waves, ooh, peacefully. Its flippers spread wide and still. Turning my face into the salty breeze, I smiled. The heavens praise God's wonders. Our incomparable God rules over the surging sea. When its waves mount up, God stills them. He founded the world and all that is in it. He made it all. He owns it, manages it all, and purposes it for his glory and for our enjoyment. Standing on the foundation of our faith, the love of our unchanging Father, we can walk in the light of his presence. God remains mighty in power and merciful in his dealings with us. We can rejoice in his name all day long. No matter what obstacles we face or how many setbacks we have to endure, God holds us as the waves rise and fall. Isn't that beautiful? You know, so many times when waves surrounds us, we're not quite sure how to navigate, or sometimes we forget that he is the God of the waves.
Yeah.
There's a thought, yeah, that came to me that says, when you hit rock bottom, you will find that God is the rock at the bottom. And so, with that being said, you know, it's important for us, even in those times of tumultuous storm and waves, that we remember that we are not alone.
Yeah.
We are never alone. And just as how in the story that little turtle was just like cowabunga,
Oh God.
and,
Yeah.
and he's just like riding the waves. You know, we have to find rest in the eye of the storm, because nothing just happens to a child of God. Everything that happens to us is purpose. It's for a reason, and it will not overtake us or overcome us without God's permission. And even if it does, because I'm remembering like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'm sure when they saw the guards opening that big furnace and how they were scorched, not even by the fire, but just by the heat, they may have been like, okay, then they're not in the fire and they're burned. But
Mm-hmm.
they were thrown in and they came out okay.
Yeah.
Not even the smell of smoke, the Bible says. And so it's important for us to look at our, we don't like to think about the bad days, you know. We
No.
don't even, but we should, because that is the time you employ self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the time you encourage yourself. The Bible says David encouraged himself in the Lord. You may not even have someone to encourage you at different moments. But you know that God is your father, and he's known as the good father and the good shepherd, you know, and he is right there with you. So here's a question. When facing rough waves in life, how can reflecting on God's wonders fill you with peace and courage and confidence in his ongoing presence and sufficient care? Two, what situations do you need to release to God as you ride the waves of life? And if you have a journal, you can just take a moment and just write that down. And there's a short prayer here, and I'll probably add to it. It says, Father, I thank you for empowering me to ride the waves of life with courageous faith, anchored in your proven faithfulness. And Lord, even as we have read your word this morning, and as we have reflected on this story, thank you for empowering us in this moment and reminding us that we are not alone. That even in our darkest times, you are right there with us. We thank you for surrounding us with your love, surrounding us with your protection, surrounding us with your peace, surrounding us with purpose. And as we go throughout our lives every day, help us to ride the waves. Help us not to fear the waves, but cause the waves to draw us closer to you. Father, I thank you for the team this morning. I thank you for this program. I thank you for each and every person that is watching and waiting to hear a word from you. We surrender ourselves as the host and we ask you to cause us to say and do only that which you desire because we are here to serve. Father, I pray for those who are behind the scenes, our technical team, God, and all the other members, oh God, by extension of UME Radio. And as we go through our program today, I pray that you will just breathe upon it, speak life to someone, give life to someone as we give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And amen. Beautiful devotion. Wow. Waves, Jesse.
No, there's I there's so many times a lot of people go through it and we don't want to speak about it because it's just like a taboo negative, like, you know, especially with social media and everything, of like making sure everything looks good, like this person looks good. And there was a picture that I saw where someone posted like a picture of an apple, let's say, and it was like a really nice juicy apple, and post it and it's on the front side, right? But behind that, someone already bit into it and it's rotting. You don't see that behind the scenes apple of that soul or that person just really rotting on the inside. And it's just like the way to counteract that is just to have Jesus and have him as our rock, like you said, at the rock bottom.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always important to recognize that too, because I think in moments of danger, we panic. In moments of fear, we panic and we totally forget that God is there. It happened to, it happened to me. And it's after the fact or when things have slowed or calmed down. I'm like, but God, you were there the whole time. The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's something important to remember. Wow. Awesome stuff. Well, it's time for the news, guys. Absolutely time for the news. And of course, we always invite you to check out our website because we have a whole listing of things that we offer you, including the news. And so first we go to the New York news. Over to you, Jesse.
All right, guys. First, I want to say real quick, good morning to Apostle Faith Walters. I love you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. So I found this article in the New York Times, what's going on in New York, and it's somewhat positive. And it says that New York will end long-term oh gosh, this word is always a tongue twister for me. Long-term solitary confinement. There we go. In prisons and jails. So isolation for more than 15 consecutive days will be barred in prisons and jails starting next March after years of effort to restrict the practice. So in a far-reaching move that will fundamentally change life behind bars in New York, Governor Cuomo on Wednesday signed into law a bill that will end the use of long-term solitary confinement in prisons and jails. The new law is set to restrict prisons and jails from holding people in solitary confinement, nearly all-day isolation, for more than 15 consecutive days. It also bars the practice entirely for several groups, including minors and people with certain disabilities. The new limitations, which do not take effect for 1 year, mirror recent changes in several other states that have limited the practice. Cuomo signed the bill on Wednesday. His office confirmed that, but signaled that he planned to negotiate some changes to legislation. The law was long sought by by advocates for incarcerated people who have raised concerns about the mental health ramifications of solitary confinement and the apparent racial inequity in its use. Black and Latino people make up 70% of the state's prison population and represent more than 4/5 of those in solitary confinement. Other provisions in the law focus on mental health that is related to solitary confinement, and the law requires screenings for suicide risk and the creation of new rehab for prisoners who need to be separated from general pop for more than 15 days. Marsha, this is absolutely shocking, because to think of solitary confinement, this is even like, people were making jokes kind of about it when we were in COVID, and feeling like we're in solitary confinement because we can't go out, we can't do this, we can't do that. But like, their cells are even smaller than an average room that most of us have,
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have access to even technology to communicate with other people. And the fact that most of these people are people of minorities and talking about mental health, and we were just talking about rock bottom and feeling alone. You can only imagine what's going on in their minds when all they have is four walls, and then to be there for 15 days that we're saying at tops. That's just
wow.
I think that this should have been, I know people were fighting for this for years, but it seems like something that this should have been, years ago. This should have not been going on.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And we have Apostle Faith Walters saying that it makes sense. It affects the mind in a horrible way. It can be devastating effects. Of course, it was often embedded in systematic racism. Most of what happens across the board is deep rooted in that mindset. Yeah.
True. Very true. Very true. Wow. And so I'm going to go over to the Caribbean news. I'm going to share two of the news, and you can find this on umeradio.com/news. First, I want to look at what makes Jamaican coffee so perfect.
Oh. Marsha, I told you last week I need to just go to Jamaica when COVID is over.
You better be here. Okay, and we're hoping that all these protocols and so on will be lifted, so we can have a good time when you come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So what makes Jamaican coffee so perfect? So the Ministry of Tourism, in partnership with the Tourism Linkages Network and the Tourism Enhancement Fund, ensured the ultimate virtual coffee experience went off without a hitch. During the Wake Up with Coffee-themed morning session with Terry Carell Reed, interviewed Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee orator Alton Bedward about Jamaican coffee. Viewers got the lowdown on what makes Jamaican coffee the best in the world. So after choosing beans over instant coffee, Bedward derailed the intricacies of the world's most cherished fruit. The Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee is unique. It's incredible the way nature has created the perfect growing conditions in Jamaica for the fruit. Here are some reasons why our coffee is ranked among the best in the world. Coffee is indigenous to Africa and was domesticated in Ethiopia between the 5th and 9th century AD. There are two main species of coffee that's grown globally, the Arabica and the Robusta. All Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee is grown from the Arabica species. Most coffee trees planted today are descendants of the original trees. It is believed that between 1721 and 1728, Governor Laws imported the Arabica plant from Martinique, where coffee was first introduced to the Caribbean. 3. Jamaica lies within the coffee belt of 23.5 degrees north and south of the equator, therefore allowing for favorable and specific growing conditions that are embedded in the cool Jamaican Blue Mountains. Jesse, you need to go to Blue Mountains. Awesome view.
Really?
Girl, you need to go. 4. coffee possesses the intricate coffee processes that has been practiced for centuries lend to the consistency in its production and flavor. This includes the washing method that demands workers select coffee cherries only when they are mature. Farmers select the best fruits and the processing from harvest to export typically within a 5-month period. 5. Luckily, Bedward says the Blue Mountain Range of Jamaica is volcanic, right? And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also geologically the oldest, highest point in our island, which makes it perfect for the Arabica plant to thrive. 6 and last, the temperature variations during the daytime in terms of very hot mornings, cool afternoons, and warm evenings are typical minus 20 degrees temperature in the evenings. They are all contributors to the formulation of the perfect Blue Mountain coffee. And that's what makes our coffee so good. All right, so we have one more article from the Caribbean News that we want to share with you as well. I love coffee, but I'm an addict, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. So, oh, wow. During white headmaster for station emergency jail. New York Catholic 7-year-old student to kneel while apologizing to the teacher and later explained that the punishment was an African way, the boy's mother said. Hmm. Headmaster John Hollian of the St. Martin de Porres Martinez School on Long Island was placed on temporary leave after details of the February 25th incident came to light. Hollian's mother, oh, where am I? Told reporters that her son trained to leave early that day with another assignment. Paul said that the boy's English teacher reprimanded Tracy for working on the wrong assignment. One moment, please.
All right, guys. So,
Here we go. So Paul said the boy's English teacher reprimanded Tracy for working on the wrong assignment, ripped up the paper, and marched him to Hollian's office, where the headmaster told the 6th grader to get on his knees and apologize to the teacher. Paul said she called the school on March 1 and asked Hollian if forcing students to kneel was a standard disciplinary practice. Hollian said it was not, but added that he'd learned the approach from a Nigerian father who said it was an African way of apologizing. Once he started mentioning this African family, that's when it clicked. Like, this is not normal procedure. I felt there was no relevance at all. Is he generalizing that everyone who is black is African? Then, that's when I realized something is not right with this situation. Paul, who is a Haitian American, that's what he told the newspaper. The newspaper said that after it made inquiries about the forced kneeling, school officials sent an email to parents saying Hollian had been placed on temporary leave pending an investigation. Quote, I want to assure you that Martins condones or accepts the actions of our headmaster. The incident does not reflect on our long-established values or our established protocols regarding student-related issues. And this is from Acting Headmaster James Conway, wrote in an email on Friday. The newspaper said Hollian himself declined to comment on the specifics of Paul's complaint, saying only that we love our students here and noted that the vast majority of students are of color. Paul said our normally outgoing son has been reserved since the incident. My son was humiliated, hurt, embarrassed, sad, and confused. He reads about things happening because of our skin color. to experience it. He's just trying to process it in his 11-year-old mind. Now, Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
culture clashes and cultural understandings is something that we have to be very careful and very aware of, because sharing the story in our community is going to raise an eyebrow, and it's
Yep.
definitely a cause for concern.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Organization also, um, it's also an issue. Also an issue. We can't do that. We can't. We just can't.
We
You
just
know,
can't.
he's Haitian. You know, he loves to from it, when you see Asian persons and you think all of them are the same, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if they're Chinese and you call them Japanese, if they're Japanese and you call them Chinese. So you have to be so careful when you're handling. Yes,
Yeah.
Apostle Moses, we see you and we're doing our best to make sure. She says she's having some difficulty
We do.
hearing. We're
Agree.
working on that as well. All right. For our news this morning, I want to, and remember, you can get umeradio.com/news. Into Voices from Africa. If you could pull it up just in case on my end, that's why the mic is going in and out. So that's UMERADIO/news, Voices from
All right. And I know, Marsha, that it is very important to be culturally aware and to not
Yes.
have that whole stigma, especially like I'm first generation American, have a Caribbean background, and it's just a lot of things that used to be done back in the day, you can't be doing that anymore. You
Yes,
can't.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
true.
mean, you can't be doing that.
To
So
wonder what are the protocols of the school?
right. I mean, I went to an
What are
elementary.
the protocols?
Oh, I was saying I went to elementary school that was Christian based. It was a Christian elementary school, private school, but all the teachers were from different parts of the Caribbean, and it was just you left your Caribbean parents to go to a Caribbean Christian school.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't really you kind of got brought up the way your parents were, but like a very dumbed down, version kind of thing. Um, which was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. Yeah, let's put it that way. All right. But let me pull up this real quick. I do want to spotlight, because we're talking about new things going on and that we can't, be with the old anymore. I want to do reference that UMERADIO is having a whole bunch of things new that's going on, and free stuff that you guys could get in contact with. We are going to spotlight our UDMI free ebook. All right, guys. So while we're bringing that up, let me tell you a little bit about this, our free ebook. So you could get it at umedigital.inc.com. What it's all about is it's a home of solutions for digital entrepreneurs and businesses released, and it is something that is going to help people who are from a brick and mortar, or they really just want to learn how to have a business online and have it grow, and take that idea and take your business from an online standpoint to digital transformation. And it's a complete guide to help you transition step by step, and importantly, with confidence. A lot of people have issues with, building a brand, growing an audience, getting leads, getting people to connect with you. And maybe you're in a business where, things are moving, things are trending, and you're still stuck in the same space. You need to hop on to what's trending, what's going on. Do you have a website? Do you have a social media page? All of this is what you need, right, Marsha?
Definitely, for sure. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this free ebook is information. To know is one of the greatest things that you could ever do. And the fact that it's free to the public, you can go there, and once you read it, you can reposition yourself. Guys, let me know if you're hearing me because I don't know what's going on with my mind this morning. All right. And just to kind of break while we're going through the book, because I see Apostle Walters commenting. She says, back in the day, what was done to us today would be considered outright abuse. So our parents got away with it. But thank God many of us came out through those scarred in some way, but we're making it. Absolutely agreeable on that point. And this is in our community, we have to develop ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why we put out this free ebook. You understand, Jesse? So that we can empower ourselves. And it was Bob Marley that had a quote that says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yeah.
There's a part of the people of color population that believe that they can. There's still another section or portion that feels like they can't, And so we're here to change that. Be the change you want to see. I think that was said by Mahatma Gandhi. And being the change we want to see, we have to empower ourselves, right? We have to empower ourselves. Look at this ebook. So tell you how you can collaborate with UDMI in order to take what God has blessed you with to the next level because of the success plan, right? And this is just a 1 year pursuit. You just need 1 year. I've always said this when I'm sharing the success plan. How many persons can really afford to go back to school right now? Why not join a program where you are learning and earning and growing? It will cost you way less if you weigh the cost of going back to school and university and being full-time. Some of us, it's just not possible because we have kids and we have home duties and we have so many other things. But if you have a dream, thank you, Apostle. She says we can hear you clearly. Once you have a pursue it, the world is big enough. Your idea is good enough. Let us help you get to the place where you need to go. Apostle says, thank God for Jesus to deliver us. Yes, and let me just lift my hand right there and agree with Apostle. Yes, definitely. So that is it in our UDMI ebook. So you can pick up this ebook on, well, it's on all our partner websites. And let me just put Business Tree out there. So it's accessbusinesstree.com, and right on the front page, you will be able to see the free ebook. Coach Raquel says, it is my hope that we get in timely with all the digital movements. Yes, intimidating for some of us. It is. Some of us are even still trying to use the word, and I get it. But the sooner you start, practice and keep doing it, just keep going and keep moving. And I promise you, if this girl can do it, you can do it. Jesse's doing it. Yeah, let's do it. Wow. I love it. I love talking about the UDMI free ebook. All right, so we are going having our inspirational guest, Coach. All right. we have today, our topic is 21 ways with negative energy. Jesse.
I need help. I need help with that. 100%. Because I know that I'm really, really going through it. And people just people be trying you. There are just sometimes people really be trying you, and you just have to hold. Don't try me. Just try Jesus. Don't try me.
Jesus, try Jesus. Oh my goodness. We have with us today our returning guest, Coach Raquel. Would you read her introduction, please?
Of course, girl. So for you guys who don't know Coach Raquel, maybe you're the first time tuning in, Coach Raquel is a proven strategist. She's a beneficiary of the E. Cornell Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship at Cornell University, where she completed certification in entrepreneurship. She is also a certified career coach. As a child, Coach Raquel endured the countless challenges of poverty firsthand, which ultimately shaped her into the compassionate, courageous individual she is today. And in overcoming such hardships, she has become adept at helping others avoid these and other pitfalls of career and life to step into their best versions possible. Above all, with over 15 years of leadership experience, she is a true advocate of positive change in this 21st century, helping individuals and companies achieve their goals. And we are so happy to have Coach Raquel on our show this morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. I don't know if you're hearing what's happening in my background, but it's raining here. It's my favorite weather. But I hope you'll still be able to hear me. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. It's such a pleasure to be here. Congratulations, ladies, on your upgrades. It's looking beautiful. It's gorgeous. So let's talk about.
And thanks to our awesome team that made it happen.
Yes. Am I echoing? I hope I'm not
A little bit.
I am.
A little.
Oh, okay. So I don't have a headset, sorry. So we're talking about 21 behavior change. And today I just want to share these with you. Now, we introduced this to this show just to kind of get your viewers a bit of an insight into what Finding Happy Audience gets. And so we give an abridged version, 21. They say it takes 21 days for one to change a behavior, or at least start to change a behavior. And so we hope that as I share this with you, that it will be helpful. So 21 ways to protect against self-destructive habits or negative energy, negativity. The first thing I say is be in the world, but not of it. And I'm not the first to say that. When I thought about this topic, it was the first thing, the voice in my head said that to me, and it was the first thing that I thought about that I wanted to share. The Bible also says it, or the good book, or whatever you call it. And one of the things that some of us don't know is that some of those great books, self-help, personal development books that we read, we don't even realize sometimes that a lot of those thoughts come from the Bible, right? Be in the world, but not of it. Do not be conformed by it. Do not be swallowed up by it. So it's okay. So for example, we're all on the show, but we all have our own identity, right? We're all having our own perspective. So you're in the world, yes, but you don't have to be swallowed up by it. You can have your own mind. You can walk in your own truth, know who you are, and be strong in that. And if you're at a place where you feel you're at the end of yourself, or you're not clear on who you are, then learn who your God is and have strength in that and be in that. So be in the world, but not of it. That's number one. Number two is minding your mouth. Mind your mouth. It is more powerful to listen than to speak, especially if what you're about to say is not calculated and strategic, right? Yeah, no, I'm going in and out. Thank you. Is this better?
Yeah, you can hear
Yes,
you.
that's better.
Thank you. Yes, so it's minding your mouth. We say some things and we're not even conscious of it sometimes. So for example, one of the things I learned is I went without food for 2 weeks, and I'm very thankful for it. So please don't feel sorry for me. It was 2 weeks where God and I had to hang out and get to know each other better, right? And I remember I was praying this prayer like, oh my God, like I can't bear this anymore. I'm really hungry. Like, I was really going in, and the voice in my head was just like, no, pray a prayer of gratitude, a prayer of gratitude. And since that time, he's really been helping me understand how to speak. So for example, I used to pray and say, oh my God, I need some money so I can buy some food. And he's like, no, that's not how you ask for it. Ask for what you want. I need food. So instead of worrying about I need money for food, I start saying I'd like some rice and peas with fried chicken and vegetables. See, now that I'm not talking about the medium through which I think I can get what I want, I can really focus on what I want. So mind your mouth. And when you speak life, speak what you actually want. Speak what will edify you, as opposed to focusing on the things you can't do, the things that are not positive, focusing on the other things. Focus and speak. Even if the mind goes there, when you utter it, make your utterances the outcomes you want. Yes. The third one is do not take anything personal. Oh my goodness. I wish I had learned that at conception. No, it's not personal. I've even learned greater than that. It's not personal that, God is very strategic and practical. And that example of Christ and Peter in the Bible, when Peter looked away from Christ and slipped, I think we see it so biblical that we forget that it is applicable right now. He's saying, focus only on me. And that is something that I've learned. No matter what is happening, no matter what someone does, no matter what they say, go to God with it. And when I say go to God with it, I mean this. So for example, Marsha or Jessie and I are having something. Jessie says something that upsets me. God, what does she think she's doing? Handle that, please. See? It's not that I'm saying ignore what is happening to you, but focus only on God. Or God, how am I supposed to receive this? Did you send her to come tell me that? What is it you want to get from this, God? Yes? It's about you and God. Because each person is a representation of God in their own life. Okay. So do not take anything personal. We're here on purpose. It's not personal. It's purpose. Yes? The fourth one is learn who you are and what makes you you. What makes you you? What's your unique superpower that God sent you here for? One of my superpower is impatience. So if someone says to me, oh, you're so impatient, I said, yes, I am. Would you like me to be more patient with you? See? So learn who you are. So when someone highlights something about you, you don't lose focus, but you can focus on, okay, what is in this for me right now? What is in this? What is the message in here for me right now? When you don't take things personal, you're able to really tap into, and say, okay, what aspect of me are they getting right now? Yes. Learn who you are. When you know who you are, nobody needs to. You don't need to get offended when someone tells you their interpretation or perception of you. When you know who you are. Yes. Number 5, discover your divine purpose. Please understand, I didn't say purpose, I said divine. And this is important. Learn your divine purpose. Why did God put you here to occupy the space you're on? The mass that is you. That mass, that matter that is you. What's the divine purpose for you? You've got to learn what that is. Without that, no matter how much vision you have, you're still just like a leaf that has fallen from a tree, just waiting to rot. It's just there. Yes? You weren't sent here to just be there. You were sent here for impact. There is a divine purpose connected to your pain. God would never just give us pain for no reason. There's a divine purpose for it. Yes. So those are things we ought to be mindful of. Now, the other thing is, and number 6, create a personal value system that edifies you. Our value system is whacked, completely whacked. For some of us, our value system extends to money and nothing else. Just money. That's all that we have with value. Money. Money, it has to be money. Money. I don't even think we understand what the money is for. Its purpose, how to even use it. Yes? You've got to have your own value system, because the truth of the matter is, I could give you $1 million. And this is why some people go to work and they're waiting for payday, because they don't value the job. They're getting the money, but they don't know that they're getting the money. They're realizing that the rest of it has no value to them. The rest of it isn't edifying them. The rest of it isn't adding value back to them. Money doesn't add value to anyone, because money is a medium of exchange. So we be seeking money. And then when we get money, we wonder, why isn't this money thing giving me back something? Money by itself gives you nothing. It's the resource that it gives you access to that fulfills. So you want to make sure that your pursuit of money is in a way that it edifies you, so that when you get the money, it attracts the right edification, or the right source, the resources, the right energy. Money has an energy. Money comes with an energy and a spirit. But you can go look up on that another time. The next one is, take time to understand what motivates you. Take time to understand what motivates you. So critical, because our motivation is the reason we do what we do. Yes. Whether we're in awareness of it or not, right? It's not the money, it's the motivation. So for example, when you think, oh no, I'm doing this because I have to feed my kids, why? What's the underlining? You see, the whys. Ask yourself why 5 times. Each time you're about to do something, ask yourself why at least 5 times. Yes? As Apostle Faith says, many people got the stimulus checks. Some went and spent on designer clothes, drugs, and other nonsense. See, you're right. Because, you see, what they wanted wasn't so much. In marketing, we do this thing where we evaluate why people do what they do in order to influence what they do. Right next, right? And one of the things I've learned over the years is people don't cry and people don't spend on what they need. They spend on what they want. And then they cry about what they need. Because we're so responsive to the world. See? We're in response and reaction most of the time. So we're not really generating, we're reacting, we're in reactive mode. Right? And it's when we're out now that we come into the consciousness of the pains now that we're feeling, because now I'm hungry. And that hunger pain is beating me. Right? And so we start worrying about being hungry. Right? Number 8 is be intentional. Intentional with your relationships, beginning with the relationship you have with yourself. You know, it's last evening we were talking, and we're talking about peer pressure and how real it is, and how peer pressure made an introvert out of me. When I recognized some of the things, what I was doing, and some places I was finding myself in, because I felt pressured to follow someone somewhere or to take someone somewhere. And then I put myself in danger, and then I can't blame them, right? And sometimes we make people thieves of what we have to offer, because we give them something without telling them we couldn't afford it. If you have an empty cup, you have nothing to give. So when you give away your cup and know you feel like you have nothing, you get mad at somebody else, but you're making them thieves of what you don't have. You didn't tell them I can't. See? So become comfortable in your I can'ts or you can. Be intentional with your relationships. You're the average Jim Rohn share the concept of you're the average of the 5 closest persons to you, and I promise you, he is 100% right. If you want to become a millionaire and you don't know one, that will never happen. You will never become a millionaire. And yeah, I know there's some persons who are Christians say, oh yes, God can do it. God isn't a stupid God. God works with you in practical, realistic, everyday, real life kind of ways. Okay? So some of these things that we think are miracles, we later learn was a mistake. Yes? God does not overtake you to use you. You're not a machine, you're not a robot. Yes? So you have to be intentional. Who are you in relationship with? If you want to become a sports professional, how many sports professionals do you know? If you want to become godly, do you know God? Many of us be calling ourselves Christians and we don't even know who Christ is, because we spend no time with him. If you don't spend time with God, then you have no relationship with him. You don't have a relationship just because you say so. You have it because you do so. You practice it. It's a part of your life. It's a part of the way of life for you. Yes? Own your truth. I coined this term when I felt my identity, my reputation was taken from me. With one lie, my life spun out of control. Spun out of my control and right into God's control. Yes? And he gave me this. He said, Raquel, own your truth, all of it. Stand in the pain of it. Because I am the one in control, not you. See? Follow your own instincts and gut feeling. Learn your own understanding of God and self. Own what's true for you. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking that our ego has a part and a place and a role. When you own what's real, so sometimes you say to someone, you're showing up this way, and they start being defensive. Either whether you're defensive or you accept it, the other person knows your truth by your behavior. Imagine if you were to own it. Just own it. Okay, this is your experience of me. Okay. It is your experience of me. I'll check on that. Own it.
Yep.
Because nothing just happens to you. If he wants something to come into your consciousness, there's a reason. Remember what we said at the beginning? Be in the word, but not of it. So hear it. Hear the response. Receive that. God, is this so? And if it is so, what is it that you want me to do with it? How do you want me to use this? Because I know about me. I don't have the capacity to even make myself feel. I feel, but I don't have the capacity to power that in myself. So if I feel something, God is involved, right? So I can consult him about it because he's involved in some way. The creator, whatever you call him, is involved in some way in me feeling this. So before I proceed, let me check it instead of getting defensive. Own your truth. When you own your truth, you own your power. Number 10, be authentic. Show your true colors in good measure. Be who you are. Be who you are, because the truth is, you can't really have any real experience, any fulfilling experience, any edification if you're not being the real you. Authenticity sees authenticity. Truth sees truth, and so does lies and deception. Yes. So be who you are, whoever that is, regardless of what the world tells you about who you are. Because in walking in your truth and being who you are, you bring something new to the world. So for example, the world may say, Raquel, you're not as smart, you're not smart. I being knowing who I am, I'm authentic in me. I can say, okay, I may not be the smart that your definition tells you are, but I mean, Raquel, I'm smart in my way. Let me demonstrate what I mean to you. See? Mm-hmm. You don't have to fit in anybody's definition. You don't have to. Create your own. You're a creator. We were designed that way. Yes, we were designed that way. Apostle Faith says, true. Many don't have a relationship with God. That's why many are challenged so much in their lives. Get stumped when situations happen to them. Oh, I echo that. Yes, because they have no clue who they are. So they don't even know how to use it. And so even some people would say, that's the devil. What devil? It's only the devil because you just made it so.
Yeah.
See, a lot of us credit the enemy, something else, otherism, human beings, with God's work. With God's work. And I can tell you, because he contacted me, God, when God comes in contact with you, you can pretend it, but you can't forget it. You know it. You know it. Even if nobody else believes it, you know it. You're never the same. I remember going to church and I used to say, there's a song I think that says, when you know who Jesus is, you're never the same. I don't think half of us know what that is, because until he makes himself available to you and say, hey, I'm here, it's a whole different thing. And once he's done that, I'm telling you, you cannot not know, you can't unknow him. You can't unknow him. And to know God, you have to be in authenticity. To know God, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. Number 11, never, 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 never lie to yourself. But if you do, never believe it. If you lie to yourself, do not believe it. Remember that it's a lie. Remember it's a lie. Yes? Do not lie to you. Number 12, choose what you believe based on your own experience and spiritual encounter. Know God for yourself. In other words, get your own understanding of him. Your own understanding of who he is, especially before you start, because you see, belief system is what influences our outcome. You can't hang your outcomes on another person's understanding of God.
That's right.
You gotta know him for yourself. For yourself. Yes, for yourself. Choose, 13, gain your own understanding of God. So number 12 is choose what you believe based on your own experiences and spiritual encounter. And number 13, gain your own understanding of God. And if you notice what I said gain it. It's a gain, people. Success cannot be realized without an understanding of God. Let me be clear. Without God, there is absolutely no success. So just in case for those people who think, oh, but what about the rich man? Let me tell you something. I've worked with a lot of multimillionaires. They use the Bible more than the church. Do not be fooled. Their strategies come from the good book.
Coach, are you still there? I think our audio dropped.
Yeah.
One moment. Jesse, this is some really good stuff that we're really having this morning. 21 ways to deal with negativity. And just to get into the comments, could you read some of the comments, Jesse?
Yep, I'll read some. So Apostle Faith Walkers says that's right. Always blaming the enemy when it's their fault. A God relationship is equal to strength, empowerment, vigor, and gusto. Those are my thoughts exactly. The greatness success is knowing Jesus Christ as Lord.
Definitely. And she also says, true, many don't have a relationship with God. That's why many are challenged so much in their lives, get stumped when situations happen to them, and some just don't know how to handle it. And others give up because they feel defeated, right? Well, giving should be a concept for the condition of the heart. True. And just to say that everything starts with understanding, and I think that's a prayer that all of us should have. God, grant me understanding.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, you can go to school or college or whatever for however long, and you come out, but you were operating on short-term memory in order to get by. And so when you come out in order to apply what it is that you've learned, you just don't.
No idea. Yeah.
You just don't know what to do, how to handle it, and that is why it is important to be around people that know, be around people that are open and that are different. I don't know why it is that we hide or we shy away from persons whose personality is different from ours, right? It should be interesting. We should want to understand their point of view and should not be intimidated. Apostle says, yes, the rich utilize the Bible a lot, especially in tithing. They follow the principles of giving and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
what's his name? There is this actor and he has dimples. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at his face.
It could be a lot of them.
I know, but let me tell you. Wow. I'm gonna remember his name, but he wrote up an article in one of those major magazines where they were interviewing him about his life as a public figure, an actor. And he says one of the things that he is grateful for is the fact that he tithes. He tithes. He's a rapper. I don't remember his name. And he acts this show with no man. He's before that. He acts in this show with Queen Latifah. My goodness, I can't remember his name, but he shared with the newspaper that he is so thankful. I don't think he's a committed Christian or anything, but he does use the Bible along his journey in life, and he says that he sees results.
Wow.
He sees results, so that's something for us to think about. There's one other music person, I think it's Tyrese, and his
yeah.
friend is a pastor. As much as Tyrese is who he is and says what he says from time to time, his best friend is a pastor, and he talks about the Bible and the principles of the Bible and how he applies it to his life all the time. And these people are serious. They take the Bible real serious. And so even for us who perhaps have grown up in the church and we're around church for a very long time, take a second look, like challenge yourself to reread it from a different perspective and see how you can apply the principles. Apostle Faith says, so that tells me that even if you don't follow God, which is good, but following the principles concerning money, you will always have. Yes, it's the principle. It's the principles the Bible gives you. That's how it really does.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Coach Raquel back on the line. But in the meantime, I'm so happy for this segment each and every week. Jesse, 21. Time for comments for those who are watching. Let me jump over to YouTube real quick to see. I think we have about 4 persons that are over there at the moment. I think our signal has been in and out.
Yeah.
For all the weeks that you have been watching. Oh, she's back.
She is back.
My internet went, sorry. The electricity went, and then so did the internet. Should I continue, or what would you like me to do? Okay. So I was at gain your own understanding of God, and it's a gain. It's a gain. Its value is worth more than money. And I know for a lot of us, our value system is so messed up that we can't see the value of anything if a dollar is not on it, if that dollar sign is not on it. But I promise you, getting an understanding of God is a gain, right? It's a gain. It's a gain. Now, the next thing at number 14 is understand your own limitations. Understand your own limitations and be at peace with failure.
No success will give you the kind of publicity failure will. So failure is actually a good thing. It's the foundation upon which you want to build your success. Because it will give you the kind of exposure your failure never will be able to. Right? So you use it. It's for you to use it. We're in a world where people are more attracted to the gore of things, the ugliness of things. So that ugliness can be what draws their attention to your beauty. So know how to use it when it comes. Know how to use that backlash when it comes. Right?
Yeah.
Number 15, lean not, and this is a part of this is in the Bible. I think it's in Proverbs, right? Lean not to your own understanding. Lean not to your own understanding. Believe you me. We've been so domesticated that even the very definition of words someone has already predetermined for us.
So I haven't been on Twitter in like 3 years.
I changed the definition of words myself. I flip around my days. Monday for you is Friday for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm intentional about not having this quote unquote Monday blues. Yes? When someone says horse, something comes to your mind, not because you generated it, but because someone else told you that's what horse was. Lean not to your own understanding. Be open. Be open. Be open. Be at peace with your imperfections and flaws. I want you to hear me. Be at peace with your imperfections and flaws. And I'm going to tell you why you should be. Right? I'm going to tell you why. God made you the way it suits his purpose. And that's why you need to be at peace with your imperfections. Because God made you the way it fits his imperfections. One of the things that I've done in my life is because in 2016, I had an interaction with God, personal interaction, right? And one of the things as I came into my own is I started changing around things. You know, when you go to the bathroom, do you know that even the scent you smell, even when you fart or whatever, the scent is far worse because of all the perfume that you have become accustomed to?
Yeah.
Then you start cursing the very thing that keeps you healthy and alive because of all these cosmetic cover-ups. So one of the things I do, if I'm at home by myself, like I love smelling my natural body odor. And I promise you, if you go a week without any of the cosmetics and you fart, it's not so astonishing. It isn't so astonishing. Do not get me wrong. There are some that's really, really, you have to save yourself from it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as bad. When you have all this sweetness and the sweet that you're using, when your natural body starts emitting things, you start thinking something's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's wrong with you. Which is why when you go out with the animals, you have this natural nature, the scent of nature. You weren't made of flower for a reason.
Yeah.
You weren't made of flower for a reason. So we need to understand that even in me saying imperfections and flaws, you have no imperfections or flaws. But in the terms of the world and the concept and in the mind of the world, you do. But so just in case you're one of those that believe that you have imperfections, understand that God made you the way it suits his perfect purpose. Sometimes we forget that we were all animals. We forget that, It's just that we're built for different purpose. So we have a mind and those things. Why do you think if you're a part of the animal kingdom that you would not smell like what you would when you walk next to an elephant, what they smell like? I'm not saying you should walk around smelling that way. It's up to you if you want to or not. I'm saying when any cosmetic or anything starts having you thinking differently about yourself, and by extension, God, we have a problem. And it's funny because I had to ask God, it was like a couple, like since 2020, I think, between 2020 and 2021, I was like, when I started looking at how I was changing, and I'm like, are you preparing me for something? Because when I look at wealthy people, they get it too. They get it too. Do you know that a lot of them in their yards, they're just not all natural?
Mm-hmm.
They get it too. To really connect with God, you have to connect with self. And I'm not just talking about your mind. Your mind isn't yourself. That's the virtual reality that the domestication imposed on you. I'm talking about all of you. Your eyes, your ears, your lips, your farts, your number twos, your number ones, all of you. All of you. God made all of you to suit his will, his purpose. So be careful how you treat all of you. Number 17, know that you are a part of God's plan. So things won't always make sense right away. In the times that you are unclear, follow your truest instincts. A lot of us don't do things if we don't know, if we don't have control over the information. I can't do this because I don't know where it's going to go. I can't do digital because I don't know it. If God wanted you to know it, I promise you, you would. He will come, he will sneak on you in the middle of the night and tell you that tomorrow this is going to happen. Know it now. Know it now. Trust God. You know, a lot of ministers who preach the gospel don't trust God. It's my experience. And this is my perception and understanding. A lot of them don't. And I think sometimes we become so educated in the world that disconnects us from our soul, by extension from God. And we say we trust him. And it's good to fake it till you believe it. Don't stop saying you trust him, even if you don't. Just keep going. Yes? But really trusting God is understanding that everything that happens to you, everything that comes to you easily, free flow, is of God. Somebody come to you and they say something you didn't like. I need to go pray about that. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. Let me tell you something. My experience of God, if it don't come right away, you don't need to think about it. It means it's not it. If it isn't there, yes, and you've got to be honest with yourself, because sometimes you're just not there. Say that, because whether or not you tell the truth, the other people around you know, because authenticity spot a lie or a truth, right? Trust God, or learn to trust him. Cultivate a relationship with him and get that connection. I'm not just talking about an understanding of him. I'm not just talking about what people say about him. I'm not talking about the Bible. Your story is biblical too. He made you. Number 19, do everything unto God, not man. This is something that, for me, I'm learning, and more it's becoming even stronger for me. I'm more intentional about it, right? Do everything unto God. Do or not do everything unto God. Unto God. Everything. In everything, focus only on him. For the good and for the bad. If something good happens, go to God. Something bad happens, go to God. These days, I don't even want people to thank me. All glory to God. Give it to him, please. So when you're mad at me too, give it to him. If he sends me in your life to disrupt you and you don't like it, go to God. Give him all the compliments you have for me and all the curses. Give it to him. Come to me when you have an ask of me, not him. Because my purpose didn't come from me. It came from him. Who I am didn't come from me. It came from him. Yes? Love yourself. And I'm going to share 20 indicators of what I mean when I say love. Authenticity, kind and forgiving, gentleness, strength, trust, understanding, nurturing, access, patience, see the best, empathy, acceptance, accountability, providing, commitment, protection, honesty, brokenness, respect, presence. Be all of those things in your own life. Long suffer for yourself sometimes. Love you. Learn how to truly love yourself no matter how long it will take. Invest time in loving you. And the final one, be clear on man-made and God-made things and never confuse them. Be clear, as in learn what, for example, the English language is not God-made. But we believe everything the English language says and all the definitions and all the terms. We believe all of it. God didn't make it. It was somebody's purpose that God purposed them to do. But the influence of man is still there. So be very clear on man-made and God-made things and never confuse them. Only what God creates lasts forever. While there is great value in man-made things, they are flawed and imperfect. So stop building your life around man-made things. I have a question from Apostle Faith Walters. It says, how can I get the free ebook and this segment with Coach Raquel, 21 Behavior Change, to be connected to my website? I think it's something we can arrange it for you after the show, Apostle Faith. We'll be happy to.
Yes, I think she didn't see the responses before.
Your comments.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So it's very important. And I'd like to say something, right? One of the things that I've learned, and oftentimes we are on our own thing, that we miss what's attracting, what we're attracting. Apostle Faith, I want to commend you because you show up and you support all the time. I don't know if it's intentional or it's just who, because sometimes our purpose, when we're naturally empowering people, when we naturally empower, it just flows freely, right? It just flows freely. And I know she's one of those persons. She's an educator, so she naturally wants to see you win. But there's something about this. See? People who take the time to show up for you, show up for them. I would challenge the morning show to learn her hours of her presentations, her shows, her programs, and show up the way she does for yours. You see, you need to water where you grow. Water the things, make the time. Jesse, I want to apologize for missing your presentation.
It's okay.
I completely forgot.
We were about to talk about that a little later.
I was supposed to remind me, and I say that from my heart. I was supposed to be there because you're here every day, and you ladies bring information that is so empowering in a time. It's like water in a time of drought. So I hope these 21 things help you to stay positive about yourself. You are magnificent. God, the God that everyone in the world talks about, whether they hate him or love him, everyone in the world talks about him and knows of him in some way, made you. There is nothing negative about you. Nothing negative about you. And when God sends pain or he sends things to direct you, that's not negative. It's all in your favor. That's my presentation for today. Do you ladies have any questions for me?
No questions at the moment, but I think it was a very informative 21 behavior change this week for sure. A lot to be applied and a lot of what would I say, comparison to the word of God, which is always important to all of us that's here, and it makes me think even deeper about God and God the businessman and God, he's so many things. If you compare systems are created and him and, just applying the behavior change. It's just a matter of us tuning in to the things that we are hearing, because it's not by accident that we're all in the same room. You're on YouTube if you're watching, or you're listening on Podbean, or wherever you are this morning, and you're tuning in. This is God's way of speaking. And I think it's very powerful. Thank you, Coach Raquel. Not sure Jesse has
I
anything to
also,
add.
if you may say, I just spoke about God the businessman. There is it's like a puzzle or filling the blank. My course, Learn Your Ideal Purpose on Udemy. There's an exercise that we give there that is God the businessman, and you have to fill it out with your own understanding of him as a businessman. And we've gotten so much feedback from it because people are like, we never thought about him that way. We never really sat down and thought, God, the businessman, interesting. And so when we gave them the exercise, and we also gave them an example so they can know how we want them to see him, right? It forces you to say, if God was building and the example we gave was God, the businessman, and how as he built the earth, he created the earth, and looking at the earth as his business, right? And how he was intentional about it and the strategies he used and things like that. Maybe one day I'll share it on here. But it was very interesting. And when they were going through it, it's like the persons, I've just given the feedback like, wow, never thought of this before. Never looked at it that way before. Never had God in that kind of context before. So I'm so happy you brought that up. That was, But thank you so much for having me, and do have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. And I want to close this segment by actually saying to our listeners and our viewers, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I think that's Romans 12 and verse 2. And very powerful, right? Jesse? Very, very powerful.
It's very powerful. And it's information that you hear, and you hear it time and time again, I think, at critical moments in your life. I feel like it's something that we all continuously have to be mindful of and practice. I don't think this is ever going to go away. It's something that we all, I think, just as creators and creatures of him, that we have to be conscious about this and be reminded.
Yes, and Apostle Faith Walter says, we have so much mentally messed up people. This is good stuff to empower them to change. Hallelujah. And I agree. And some of us are mentally messed up and we don't know.
No. Yeah.
We don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Not until light is shone in that area, like, oh my gosh, am I really like this?
Yeah.
So I love it. I love information. I love that we're a current events show. I love everything about this morning program. And I continue to learn every single week from all our segments. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that always when Raquel comes on, that I get a little emotional, and I was trying to fight not to.
You were saying that before we started.
I was sitting quiet. I'm just just don't cry. Don't cry. You are not a crier. You are not that.
And so what if you do, girl? And so what?
Listen, I know. But sometimes you're just like, I can't do it right now. Not right now. I'll do it behind. Not right now. But, it's something that it is part of our lifestyle that we have to be mindful of what's going on in our mind, whether sometimes we need people to tell us ourselves, like you said, you may not know it. And sometimes that person may be acting a way to you. Could be all them, all 100% all them. But sometimes it is yourself and you don't know what you're giving off to people. So that is one thing that I absolutely think that's needed. And while we're talking about lifestyle, let's go into our lifestyle segment. So what is lifestyle anyway? Lifestyle is the interests, opinions, behaviors, and behavioral orientations of an individual, group, or culture in one's own development of self. Are you deliberate and calculated to live the life you love? What is your mindset in wealth, wellness, and day-to-day life? So we're first going to talk about wealth mindset. I know we just talked about how some of the actors, practice tithing and giving that 10%. And it's something that we really need to embark. I think we really need to talk about that and talk about how even the Bible has certain ways of how we should have our mind when it comes to money, you know. And you know, wealth mindset, what is it for people who are just tuning in? A wealth mindset is a set of beliefs, habits, and behaviors that separate the wealthy from the rest. A wealth mindset will guide you to make the most of the money that you have. And today we're going to talk about a topic called scarcity versus abundance. And this is coming from Forbes.com on their website. Now, scarcity versus abundance. There's a quote that they say, and it starts with, "The mind is everything. What you think, what you become." And it is so true, not only in just business, but in general sports and just everyday life. And another way of looking at this phenomenon of scarcity versus abundance is the term of, you have to look at it, I kind of use this example, that is kind of like a tree kind of thing. The scarcity mentality refers to people seeing life as a finite pie. So that if one person takes a big piece, that leaves less for everyone else. So if someone, you know, look at a tree, someone's, you know, there's fruits on the tree and everything's growing, that kind of thing. And someone just manages to get all of the fruits on the tree, or most of them, or all the ripe ones, and what's left? The ones at the bottom, the one that's okay, the ones that's not ripe yet, the ones that, you know, are going away rotten. And most people have this mindset of scarcity, and it's no wonder why, you know, people think that promotions are and raises are limited, resources are limited, and managers like hoard information because they don't want to share it. They want everyone to be in this certain like limited mindset. They don't want you to elevate. They don't want you to grow in abundance. So how do you shift from scarcity versus abundance? Well, like Coach Raquel just said, one of the ways is to focus on what you have. Don't focus on what you lack. Focus on what you have. For example, if you're looking for a job and people may think, oh, there aren't enough jobs out there. I don't have enough skills. What am I doing? I can't start a business on my own. I mean, I have this idea in my head, but I don't know anything about it. You know, why go into thinking like that? Did you know that most of these people, those CEOs of Amazon and Netflix and all of those things, they have this idea. Do you know how many times Netflix was told no in the 90s? And then it turned out that they were the revolution that brought out and broke down Blockbuster. I don't know if you guys remember Blockbuster, but Netflix was that big idea that went to multiple companies, multiple entrepreneurs saying, oh, this will never work. This will never work. Look now, almost 20 years or so later, and it's the biggest thing ever.
Jesse, hold on 1 second. I think we may need to slow down because we're getting comments that we're going in and out. Okay. Right. Yeah, I realize the faster we speak is the more the line cracks. So we may need to slow down a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to slow down. So, right, the first step is focus on what you have. Second one is surround yourself with people that have an abundant mindset. Didn't we just talk about this, Marsha?
Yes, we did.
Focus on and surround yourself with people that are abundant. If you want to be abundant in your life, why are you going to surround yourself with people that just bring you negativity? And sometimes, sadly, that may be, you know, family members. Sometimes you have to keep your mouth shut and not tell them X, Y, and Z because they can't see the vision that you have. But you have to communicate and connect with other fellow entrepreneurs, other fellow, you know, people in that niche that you have or niche that you want to build, maybe multiple ones, and grow and learn from them. This article says, according from Toni Robbins, who stated the quality of a person's life is most often a direct reflection of the expectations of their peer group. Ask yourself, if you look up to the people with whom you spend time, if not, you may need to search for other people living the life you aspire to.
True. That's very true. And one of the things, when the Bible talks about us being light, it also means that we need to associate with persons who are light as well.
Mhm.
I did not realize that I was a dark seeker for a very long time. Like, you don't necessarily find all the positive things in a situation. It's something that I continue to work on. And it's simple. It's because I was just around people who were similar, and they were like that. They are like that. You know, so you find, just as what you said, connect with people who are where you want to be and absorb everything about them, Jesse. You can
Yeah.
continue.
Yep, that's 100% true. The third one is create win-win situations. So a scarcity mindset believes that if one person wins, another loses. And I know that we could go a whole bunch into that. Then try to create win-win conditions in your life to combat this manner of thinking. Look for ways for both parties to leave with a sense of accomplishment and a better feeling about the relationship. Consider practicing this in both your personal and professional life. This often means listening without judgment or I can't, these words are tongue twisting for me today. Censorship. There we go. Fully understanding what a win-win means for both of you and brainstorming solutions until you find one that satisfies both parties. 4, incorporate gratitude in your daily life. I'm just going to pause and let this settle for a bit because this is just the occurring of what we've been talking about this entire show so far. And according to Oprah Winfrey, if you look at what you have in your life, you always have more. If you look at what you don't have in your life, you'll never have enough. It's difficult to feel fear or sadness while feeling grateful at the same time. Practicing gratitude is one of the most widely recognized methods for improving one's overall well-being. And in 2007, Robert Emmons, who's a professor of psychology at University of California, he actually began researching gratitude and found that expressing gratitude improves mental and physical well-being. Being grateful also impacts the overall experience of happiness, and the effects tend to be long-lasting. And this article says that one way to practice this is writing down 5 things you're grateful for each day. Another way, when we're just talking about, is telling God, things when you're praying. Don't start, saying, I need this from God. I need this. I need this. I need this. Come to him and have a relationship and say, God, I thank you for waking me up this morning in my right mind. I thank you for giving me breath this morning. I thank you for not, if you were a minor thing, I thank you for providing food for me for breakfast this morning. I didn't think I was going to able to do it. Honestly, if you've been feeling sad and depressed, I thank you for letting me get out of bed, to even just go shower, be like, I thank you for letting me get out of bed this morning.
Yes.
And then come to him and say, your desires and be specific about it. And the last one is train your mind to recognize the possibilities. An abundance mindset allows you to see more in your life, more options, more choices, and more resources. A study at Harvard found that when we focus on one particular thing very intently, other possibilities that are right in front of us can go completely unnoticed. The brain can only absorb so much. So if your belief is, I can't do it, or it's impossible, then any other thoughts contradicting that will get turned out. Start training your mind to loosen its focus and create an expanded awareness. Ask yourself, if you had all the time and money in the world and you knew you could not fail, what would you be doing? Questions like that will help you open your mind to what's possible. And what I tell people, I have different followers because I do a lot of different things. And some people will just be like, Jesse, you're so young and I want to, be older. I don't mean older in a bad way, but people who are just a little bit older than me in age would come to me and like, you're so aspiring. And I could see, what you're all about. How do you go about it? And I said, one thing I know is I know my purpose, just like what Raquel said. I know my purpose, and my purpose is to inspire and to help people. And God gives you gifts in multiple different ways, but you have to, at your core, know your purpose. And once you know that, everything else will fall into alignment. It doesn't have to be just one brick and mortar. I'm just using that as an example, but it doesn't have to be one type of thing that you do. God could be using you. Remember when you were little, you used to draw, clothing, maybe to start an own clothing line, or you used to scribble and do art. Or when was the last time you picked up a, paintbrush? You used to love to paint when you were little. He gave you those gifts and that talent for a reason, and to show it off to the world. So yeah, I think that's just my little tidbit, is to, in everything you do, put your purpose in, and it would align.
That's powerful. Some powerful stuff you shared with us, Jessie. Thank you so much. So that was scarcity versus abundance, and it's something that I think we should all bear in mind, and of course, when it comes on to a lifestyle, we also think about hacking. Now, I know for some persons, when you hear the word hacking, you think negatively and computer-wise hacking, but no, that's not what we're talking about this morning. We are talking about hacks that will help and simplify your life. So everyone loves a good hack to make life easier and simpler. It gives us remedies for unexpected life events. And today we are going to share with you a portion of 100 hacks that can actually make life easier for you. Yeah, don't you love hacks, Jessie?
I love hacks, and I actually want to bring up, before you start, real quick. Remember 2 weeks ago when we did a feature? It was similar to hacks for God, but with the wooden spoon. With
yes.
Okay, I tried it, girl. That works. I did.
Wow. I'm happy for you. This week I tried the American apple one with it says that the American apple can help with like morning breath, or if you can't, because I like to brush my teeth several times throughout the day, right? Yeah. So I tried eating the apple, and that worked too this week. Ooh. So guys, we're taking our own advice. Pay attention. Yes. It works for us. We'll never share something with you that we don't think is valuable, or we've never tried ourselves, especially in this segment. Now I'm trying to pull up the information, and my computer is saying nah. All right, so
I got it.
Here we are.
You got it?
Okay, go ahead and start.
Okay, so the first one is a picture of a luggage, and it's a little bow on it, and it says, tie a small piece of bright colored fabric to your luggage. Saves a lot of time to check if it's your bag or not.
Ooh, amen to that.
Which I have done, or even a plastic bag. I mean, I know it's low-key ghetto, if that's a word, but listen, everyone has black suitcases. Just put something on it. You don't got to be fancy and spend a whole bunch of money. Just put something on it so you know that it's yours.
Definitely.
When you want to cross out words,
don't move from there yet. You know what I use? I'm a complete girly girl. Whenever it comes down to traveling and luggage, I don't know, but I just seem to have luggage that looks like everybody else's. Mm-hmm. And you know what I started to do? I started to change my tags in terms of, just as how you would probably see on the pic. I'm not sure if we can show it here. Somebody just tied a pink fabric. I just got a teddy bear and just turned it into something. So that's for those of you out there who is extremely girly like myself. You do not have to just throw something on your luggage. Make it stylish, make it classy. And that's all I'm saying about that.
That's Go ahead, so cute. I mean, most of my luggage are They're black, but I do have like a really like black and pink polka dot like luggage that instantly it's mine. Can't be anyone else's. The second one is when you want to cross words out that don't want to be legible, instead of scribbling all over them, write random letters and words over the original. Marsha,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It depends, because some persons don't really have great penmanship per se, and that I don't normally cross words out. Well, if it depends on what you're doing and where you are, because as a former banker, we're not allowed to do that. We're allowed to just make a line, and then you put a signature at the top to authenticate that you're the one that did that. But nobody wants to write with mistakes, because there are computers and so on and so forth. But if it's something critical, for instance, if you have to dispose of certain documents and papers, if you don't have a shredder or anything like that, and there's like maybe your name or your address or something that's on the document, I would say before you even shred it or cut it up, do that. Don't do the line, because as you can see in this example, I can see straight through the line, really.
Yeah. Sometimes what I do, that is one take on it, Marsha. And I think like also if I'm studying, it's my own personal mistake, like my own personal mess up. So I would just do like a one-line thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said with banking, kind of like a one-line. Or sometimes you don't have enough time, because sometimes even though I know the alphabet, I'll be like, okay, what's a good letter to put? Like I can't like do it real quick. Like I'll just be using the same letters over again. So I'll just I'll do a couple letters, and then I'll do like like circles, that kind of thing. So that kind of blurs out the information too. Another one. So the third one is use a rubber band to keep a door from latching.
That is true. That is absolutely true. And it does work, because when I was on dorm and I went to an Adventist university, and normally we would try to clean, Fridays, sunset, Sabbath. So we'd make sure we have no classes on a Friday. So we use that time to clean. So most times when you're cleaning, you have like the mop with the bucket and everything, and you can't handle the door closing on you when you have both hands full. Laundry in one hand, bucket in another hand. So it actually does work. And even with that being said, I want to invite you guys, and we're going to start putting the links up. A door stopper is a blessing from God. So along with using this hack, you can actually tap into our Amazon account here, and we can hook you up with some really nice, cute door stops, not the regular flat ones that you put under the door, but something uniquely you, because we're both different. And on the show. So yes, this hack, I can verify that it actually does work. Yeah.
I know. Okay, what's the fourth one? The fourth one.
He's saying, loving the pleasantness you both are. Oh, thank you, Keith.
Oh, thanks, Keith. And Apostle Faith says, oh yeah, I do that with my luggage when I travel on airlines. Great idea. And entrepreneurs allowed, from what we previously talked about, scarcity and abundance, and some of us get abundance after praying for it, then curse it, complain that we can't afford it, complain that we have no time for it. We seek yet fail to see it when it comes. To grow is to grow.
True.
That's so true. And Coach Raquel says, if you don't want to be stretched, pray thanksgiving and ask for nothing. Increase will increase you.
True. That happens too.
All right. So we're going to move on to the fourth hack, which is, does your dorm or room just smell bad? Tape a dryer sheet over the AC unit and turn it on.
I never thought of that though.
I never did either. I mean, it makes sense, but I think like there's so many hacks to have your place smelling good. I use incense. 2 weeks ago, we learned about the orange peel candle.
Yes.
thing. There's air fresher, but it's a good way to save money. You just put that over,
And throw it back in your dryer. As they
yeah.
say.
It's just, you're just using it for air freshener. That is
And
a good.
some brands have these little beads that they drop in the washer that you can use with a dryer or washer. Sometimes people put them in small bags, make holes in them and drop them in their drawers and at different spaces in their rooms. And it works too.
Oh,
Or even regular coffee. Have you ever smelled coffee in a car that has the AC on? It
no.
intensifies the scent. You'll need to try that. I am obsessed with the scent.
I listen. I am very particular. I don't even drink coffee like that. I'm more of a tea person. I grew up on tea, but the only time I would drink coffee, one is if I suffer from really bad migraines,
Yeah. It
and
works on migraines?
so if you drink black coffee, no sugar, no milk, no nothing, it helps kind of soothe the migraines. So I would take it when I
Thank
start to
you.
when I start to kind of feel it before it gets intense, it gives a little lull to it. So you have enough time, to get through your day before it gets really bad, that kind of thing.
That's interesting. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
the caffeine in it. Yep. So what I was gonna say. So I'm very particular with coffee. I like Colombian coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one I can actually drink, and it's no problem. Everything else I need to add a whole bunch of sweetener or a whole bunch of milk or something. I'm just but the smell of
Yeah.
it.
Especially if you're walking through the airport and there is just something about the air condition that intensifies the flavor, the scent of a hot beverage. It really
Mm-hmm. It is so good. We have time to move on to the fifth hack. Okay. For people who use their phone to watch things often, which I know a lot of people are doing, and are tired of leaning it onto something where it would fall down after a while, use your sunglasses.
nice.
I'm
I
gonna
never
try
thought of
that.
that.
I am going to try that because I don't have one of those. I don't have a stopper, the thing that people put on the back of
Yeah,
their
well, I
phone.
have one that I use for the show. And of course, guys, if you want one, you can just, let us know and we'll send you our link. But this is something that I use. It's really, you understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't have one, then I guess the glasses is the next best thing because if you don't have it in your hand, it's on your face.
Right, exactly. And Keith Merritt said, "Can you order coffee on Amazon?" I think you can order anything on Amazon. Actually, I've seen a lot of stuff and stuff.
Except for people.
Except for people, we have not gotten there. Nope, no ordering people. I'm in a masterclass at LOL. That is a really good one. Same thing for UMERADIO. Go Inspire Jamaica Foundation also says that is a really good one. That is awesome. And waterproofing our shoes.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, but it came back again.
Yeah, beeswax. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, because I like these type of shoes anyway, because they're comfy. They really are.
Really?
Yeah, these soft shoes. Yeah, maybe not that style though, just saying. But
Right.
if you have a shoe that is, more fabric more than anything else. But I'm wondering if it's not going to change the color of the shoe. So I need to test that out.
Yeah. Maybe to try it on just a regular black shoe kind of thing, just to want to see if it works. And then you could go on a really lighter, a colored one, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have time for one more hack, Marsha?
Well, we have 2 minutes left in this segment, so yeah.
Okay, super quick. Take a picture of business cards people hand you just in case you lose it.
I do this all the time. All the time. We just need to find an app now that takes it from a picture and stores it somewhere where when you need it, it's there.
It's there, yes. And then organize it in terms of yes.
Exactly.
No one steal our idea, okay?
I know. And then when we have a way of when we clean out our purses, things just go in the bin. Especially if you're not a hoarder,
Right.
things just go in the bin.
So yeah, that is pretty much wraps up part of the 100 incredible life hacks.
Well, a part of the 100, we're nowhere near even 20
Nowhere
as
near.
yet. We have time for one. Can we do one more? We have 1 minute left.
Okay, one more says, when ironing a button-up shirt, flip it inside out to easily iron over the button side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's so simple, but I never really struggled with a button. Like, you just go in between it. But
listen, when I'm ironing, I feel the iron just like going against the buttons. I'm like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. I feel like I'm ripping the buttons off the shirt. Because you're trying to get in the corners and trying to smooth out all the creases. But this is a good idea. The only time normally I would iron on the wrong side, if it's a fabric that is going to be what we call shine in Jamaica, it's going to be real like satin or something.
Yeah.
You iron that on the wrong side.
One, yep.
But
I do that one just like you said, Marsha, and I also do if you have any graphic T-shirts.
Yes, that too.
And you don't want to mess up the print or anything, you do it inside out. Yep.
Awesome. I love this segment. Every week. Every single week. And my computer is just not working with me today, but it will work right now in Jesus' name. We're going into our next segment now. Jesse, help me.
We are going to do a real quick spotlight on UMERADIO Week of Prayer. And this is such a big deal, guys. I am so excited. So you want us to join a week of prayer at umeradio.com/week of prayer. And we have our website pulled up. So it's going to start tomorrow, April 4th through April 10th.
Yes, and there's so many things that will be happening, but let me start from the top, Jesse. So, of course, you know absolutely that UMERADIO is a community station. It's for the people, by the people. You tell us what you love, we bring you what you love. We seriously sit down and read your comments and your emails. And of course, over the past year of broadcasting, our audiences have reached out to us for so much support through our radio shows. And you guys know that we have several radio shows. Many of them seem to be stuck in a rut or they're feeling overwhelmed. And we have been inspired by that to host a week of prayer to help them start an effective praying habit. Remember, guys, even though, yes, we can pray, but you can pray too. And we want to help you to foster a positive habit, right? So having a strong, effective prayer life is the key to achieving transformative success. The Bible says that we are to pray without ceasing. But let's be honest, guys. Sometimes we fail to pray intentionally, committedly, and consistently. So we want you to collaborate with us, right? To reach out to connect with God in a very unique way. This is like a type of corporate prayer. So the goal is to petition the throne of God for guidance, direction, and wisdom as we seek to promote the works of God, leveraging our digital platforms and networks. So that's the overall goal, Jesse. So the next question would be, how can they participate? On the screen now, we have, before we get to that, let's talk about the activities that we have. Right? So my screen is gone again. Help, Jesse, help.
I got you. So on April 5th, the time, it's in the morning. Time is kind of blocked for me.
I think it's 7 a.m. Yeah.
7 a.m. Okay, we launch our week of prayer.
Oh, hold on. Before that, I'm so sorry. Before that, if my memory serves me correctly, even though I'm not seeing, 5:30, we have Command Your Morning, right? That's every morning, and you'll be listening to the station. At that time, we'll be having prayers and worship music and just starting your day with the Lord. So that's 5:30 every morning. And then at 7 on the morning show with DJ Kelly, go ahead.
We are going to launch our week of prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 9 p.m. that same day, April 5th, there's going to be a special edition of Let's Talk Relationships. And we're going to do a participant activity, and it's intermittent fasting. Guys, if you have not, get connected, but Let's Talk Relationship, the conversations that are discussed on that channel, all I have to do is just sip tea. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. And the topic for Monday is power your relationship with prayer. Listen, I know DJ KTE and Lady Misty are going to really go in on this. We have partners, significant others, those of us who are waiting for God to bless us with a spouse or so on. We need to be praying about it, and not just praying, but strategically praying and covering, what we desire from the Lord in that area.
Yes, that is so. And I think it's so true and abundant and needed. We ask God for everything in our life, but forget our own relationships.
True. And in terms of the fasting, we start our fasting 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it can be intermittent. So if you can't go the whole day with us, just choose a time block that you're going to be dedicating to this fast. Yeah.
On the next day, April 6th, we are going to do, again, 5:30 a.m. We're going to have that prayer and devotion. At April 6th at 12 p.m. noon, there's going to be a Jamaica Theological Seminary.
Yeah. So they'll be coming on and sharing with us in prayer and the word. And we're looking forward to having these students come in and just share with us. Yeah.
And they're also going to talk about your space exercise.
Well, that actual exercise is going to be embedded in the challenge that we're doing. So, and we're going to tell you in a minute how to sign up. But once you sign up or sign in, then you're going to see different activities slated for each day. So these are habit forming activities that you will have access to, and it will assist you in your prayer life. So that's what the flyer looks like. Once you go on our website, umeradio.com/week of prayer, then it's gonna be the tab is gonna be on the front of the website at the top. So once you click it, then it's gonna take you to this page, week of prayer, and then you're gonna see free, and then below that you're gonna see join, and you're gonna click join, and then it's gonna ask you to some basic information, and then you're just gonna go right in. So it's really easy, guys. Very easy. Yeah. So
on April 7th, there's going to be 7 a.m. Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries prayer line.
Yes. So Apostle Faith Walter, that has been commenting all morning, you guys will get to hear her live on our platform for week of. Listen, this woman of God does not play. She doesn't play. She is a major intercessor. And even though this is a virtual event, God will tell her things through the screen to tell you, and it will be on point, correct, in alignment. So all our partners, UDMI partners that we have, they have a very serious relationship with God. So to join the prayer line, join her prayer line, which is normally on a Monday at 7 outside of this event. It's you can call 978-990-5000. Access code 329073 #, and visit her website, guys, wa-moe.org. Apostle Faith Walters. And let me just put this in right there. I put her up on my Instagram this week, because every time I show up to any of her services, I feel like God is picking on me in a good way. you know. And when someone has a relationship with God, it's easy to hear from him, because she is so intentional about serving the people of God and always in intercession about the people of God. When you show up, God is not afraid to speak, you know. So if you really want God to be speaking into your life, I know God is going to give her a good word for all of us. Yeah. So join her on Monday at 7 a.m. All right. So we are going to be bringing all our programs live on, I'm going to pull up the information for you. We have a particular website that we will be having all our programs run live on. So it's prayer.umeradio.com. So that's the website you need to go to, because that's where we'll be showing all of the persons who are slated for this week of prayer. And this was what day of the week?
It's
Wednesday, right? So on Thursday, we are going to be having a very special edition of Finding Happy, right? Finding Happy with Coach Raquel. And the topic that she'll be sharing on is 7 reasons success requires strategic prayer. Yes. 7 reasons why success requires strategic prayer. And I cannot wait to hear the content under this very, very interesting topic. And later, an hour after that, we're going to be having the Jamaica Theological Seminary tapping in again with their prayer and the word session. So they'll be coming back for 30 minutes to just go through that segment with us. That's Thursday. On Friday at midday, we will be having midday meditation with Coach Raquel. And this is guided meditation. I've said this so many times. It is important to hear God, not just to talk to him, but talk with him. Which means that he's going to be talking back to us. And we have to be, that listening is something that we have to learn to do. It's really something that we have to learn to do. And so we're going to be going through a guided segment with Coach Raquel on Friday at 12 Eastern Standard Time for those who are watching. And then on next week, Saturday, Jesse.
We bet.
Yeah, you're going to be joining us for a very special edition of Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. And believe us, all our segments are going to be targeted around prayer, because we know that prayer is such a powerful tool and such a powerful spiritual practice. Guys, we want results. Don't you want results?
Yep. And there's so many testimonies that I can say, and I know you too, Marsha, that comes out of just prayer.
Yes. So many results that we can attest to. And listen, once you can start sending in your prayer requests. Guys, start sending in your prayer requests to us so that we can start being in prayer, and also sending out to our partners for the week of prayer and have them starting to pray. And once God has started answering, or he has granted your request, don't be afraid to testify. Let us know. Yeah, let us know, because that's what it is about. People need to understand that God still hears and answers prayer. And paired with our radio schedule for this week, we'll be having other activities once you get inside, whether you're on the app. I didn't say that before. You can also, if you're an on-the-go person and you may not have time to sit down and go on your laptop or your desktop to do this challenge, you can do it on the go with your app, and we're going to be showing, do we have time to show that video? It's a 7-minute video about fasting that we're going to also release to you, so that you don't just fast anyway you feel like fasting, especially for those who have medical conditions. We want to make sure that you have all the information that you need. So back to the activities within the app and the challenge. You will have a segment called Your Space. Jesse mentioned that earlier. Do something new, advice to yourself, pat on the back, commitment, and finding a prayer partner. So you'll see all of these coming out during the week. All of us at UME Radio, we have signed up, signed in, and we are ready to go. And we'll be sharing our experiences for the week of prayer and feedback from us, because like I said before, we never put out something that we haven't tried ourselves or we are not doing. And feel free to check in with us. You see our Instagram pages on here, and weekends have their own Instagram page. Let us know how your week is going. What are the days that you're feeling great? What are the
Yeah.
days that you're doing it and you don't feel so great, but you need a little encouragement? We got you.
Yep.
We are in this together. Apostle says, thank you for the advertisement and your support in this venture. Yes, Apostle. Not a problem at all. Our pleasure. Earnest prayer must and will get results. If you're not getting any, you're praying amiss. Check the heart.
Yeah.
Did you
Did you
forgive?
forgive?
And she made a very good point, because we want to start off with consecration, just kind of
Yep.
ourselves and whatnot, and saying, God, if there's anything in me that is going to block, hinder, stop, pause my prayers,
Yep.
yes, we need more collaborative.
Collaborative prayer warriors.
Yeah. And I think she had said that in one of her ministry programs as well. And she
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know we were thinking along that line.
Yeah.
So that's what our week of prayer is gonna look like. So remember, recap. You can join the challenge via the website, umeradio.com, or via the app. You can download our app, whether on Google Play or Apple Store. And of course, you can watch all the live programs that we have on prayer.umeradio.com. So those three things, and you are good to go. She says we're breaking up again. I am not sure. Maybe I'm talking too fast.
I don't know.
All right. So guys, just do us a favor. Join us for the launch on Monday at 7
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time. umeradio.com//week of prayer, and just start there. If you want to send in your prayer request, the crawler at the bottom of the screen, you can WhatsApp us. You can WhatsApp us if it's easier for you. Not a problem. We'll repeat the instructions and we will let you know. Sending your emails with your prayer request at info@UMERadio.
Radio.
WhatsApp us at 201-503-36731. Right? And yes, thank you for that. My screen is just not behaving. Request prayer. Once you go on to prayer.umeradio.com, at the bottom of the screen, it also says request prayer. Use that. That's even better. Use that. And then we'll start to pray over your requests. So go to prayer.umeradio.com, click prayer request, and that's it. That's it. Good to go. All right. I love it. I love it. Yes, thank you for that. To request prayer, visit prayer.umeradio.com. And that's our spotlight on Week of Prayer. That's coming up. You'll see us posting things on our social media pages, on our partner pages, and we want you to get results. Apostle says, clear now. I think we're talking.
Thank you. Yeah.
The computer is trying to
Keep up.
keep up with us. Yes. All right. So that's it for our spotlight this week on Week of Prayer. Yeah. Just giving them a minute to grab the information. All right, all right, all right. All right. Okay, so we are about to segue into our DJ playlist, and after which we're hoping to have our talent guest in the room by that time, all being well. But as well, first of all, before I even get there, Jessie, congratulations on your open mic.
Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you.
Yes, I went back on your Instagram page and I listened to the poem. I'm not sure if you have it on hand, so you can share it with us.
I could share my screen. Yeah, give me one moment, guys.
No, guys, Jessie is an absolute. She's just a good writer. I don't know. When I heard it, I was like, oh, when I'm doing my vows or something, Jessie is gonna have to write them for me, and I'll memorize it because you have a way with ink. Ink. Jess.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Let
So
me
she's
see. Let's pull up.
sharing with us this morning her.
Are you guys seeing it? Okay. All right, Marsha. So I'll play it, a little bit of it. I just wanted to say first off, thank you so much to Who is Lenora for the awesome open mic that we just had tonight. I know that a lot of my followers are, foreign, different time zones. Maybe you're busy at work and stuff like that. And you wanted to hear my piece, but you weren't able to. And I know you guys wanted to hear a little bit more of spoken word from me. So I decided to read this for you guys. So the poem is called Planted on Cocoa Soil. She was born out of a colorless, transparent life, with moonlight illuminating her skin. And like the moon, she waxes and wanes, sometimes full, other times empty.
Oh, Jess, I feel like the audio just went.
I may have half your rib, man, as in I am a part of you, man. Though it was not until me when he deemed everything was complete, when you were made whole, meaning fulfilled, full, and one. Not until me. And yet there is one whole you think is both part of you and me. You know the one. It's the one that hypnotizes you at midnight. The one I use to sing you Negro spirituals, activating your ancestors. The one that prays for your empowerment. The one that has the ability to speak life into you or cut you to the core. The one that has the power to seduce. And yet by day, all that's said at night fades. But I will not fade. I will not let it fade. I will stand firm on the soil I'm planted on and affirm the power of my diamond-sharp tongue. You want to know the recipe? Why? To mimic me? Okay. I say it calls for 1 cup of empathy and gentleness, 2 tablespoons of serenity, 3 cups of wisdom, the essence of sugar, spice, and seduction, and a whole bunch of I don't give a for the record. Results may vary. Please don't try, women. Please don't try me, for we will refuse to be silent. I'll speak the whispers of Mother Earth. You hear them as the wind's song, roaring yet gentle. I'll stand barefooted and bear what life has to offer me with a smile. I'll speak like waterfalls flowing with milk and honey that will enrich not just my children, but the world. I'll speak for each and every one of you. For generations to come, I will not fade to silence, only to be heard under moonlight when the time's right. I'll speak until my words are blinding like sun's light. I'll speak my fear, love, purpose and promises, tears, regrets, strengths, highs, lows, burdens, and lessons, all lessons I've learned throughout the years. So, hear me as I speak, man. As my feet are planted on the cocoa soil, do you hear me? Listen. And hear us. Hear we. Hear me, a woman. So guys.
Listen.
Guys.
Let me just snap because I know points do this snap thing. Yes, girl. Yes. I love it. I love it. Talk to us about that poem. Where did it come from? What inspired the topic?
Okay, so that poem was, I got invited to a virtual open mic, and it was on the last day of Women's History Month, March 31st, and the topic that they were going off was refuse to be silenced. So I really, for a couple of days, I was like, I don't know, but, I'm like, you know what? God has blessed me for this opportunity. Maybe it's something to, I don't know where it's going to go. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So I went through my book, Laced in Love, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I honestly, mind blank, like usually, and this happens. I was like, I don't know what to write about. So I was scrolling through, and one of my poems, the beginning of that piece, where it was like, she waxes and wanes like a moon, and that kind of section, just that 2-3 stanzas was a poem that I have in my book. So I just decided to implement that, and it was like, okay, how do you refuse to be silent as a woman? And I'm just like, what are some issues in a way that women have to deal with? And it's like men thinking that, they only use us for a certain type of time, or just society limiting our voices and saying they want our opinions and they value what we say, but then nothing's acted on it, and we're at the bottom of this totem pole kind of thing. And it's just like, enough is enough. You're going to hear what I say, and it's going to be heard by my children, my future children. I'm going to give them what I know, the fruit that I know. So you will never stop hearing what I say. So that's pretty much that. And on the screen, it is, a table of contents of my book. It's called Laced in Love, and it's love of self, a partner, life, and the spirit. And I wrote this pre-COVID, and it was released September of last year. But the meaning behind that is deeper, because I felt the world was going through an area searching for love, and a lot of people were searching, God, or searching, crystals, and that whole, and I said at the core of everything of people trying to do, they're looking for love. True. And they're looking for love of self, maybe love of a partner, love of self. And I put love of the spirit, not to negate anyone, but for me, that was the Holy Spirit. And to really bring life on that. And I hope the poems in that book, yes, Apostle of Faith, it's right on Amazon. You just have to type in Laced in Love and it should pop up, or my name. But yeah, I felt that people were what's the word? Dehydrated, I guess, to say, in love. So I hope this kind of hydrates you guys again, if you guys decide.
Yes, really nice. I want to say hey and good morning to Shelly Ann Richards. Now, Shelly is over in Michigan. Shelly, I mean, she's like family now. I know. Listen, Shelly, how is your hand? Because she reached out to us to let us know that she burned her hand and stuff like that. She's an avid listener to LTR, and she comes on during the Saturday shows as well. I don't think we have ever said it, but Shelly Ann is always there, and she's always commenting and giving her opinion on the shows. So let me take some time to just big up Shelly Ann Richards in Michigan. God bless you. Good morning. We love you and thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes, guys. So Laced in Love is on Amazon, and you can get a look on the inside. It gives a sample of what it is about, and the cost is $9.99. Yeah, $9.99. It's like $10. Easy investment, guys. And I'm not sure if she's gonna do an audio version. Just saying, putting it out there in the atmosphere.
You think so, Marsha?
Yes, Shelly says my hand is getting better. I'm so thankful, Shelly. Whew, I know what kitchen burns can be like. Just thank you for the shout out. You're very welcome, and we do care about the persons that stick and stay with everybody. But those who stick and stay with us, we always try to highlight them. Yeah. So Laced in Love by Jesslyn Abel is out, guys, and you should get a copy. Please support Jessie. Marsha J.
And it's international, guys. So if you get your books at Barnes & Noble, wherever.
Is it only paperback, or we can get the digital on our Kindles and stuff?
It's only paperback for right now.
Okay. Okay, guys. So support Jessie. Yes, and more to come. soon. Awesome stuff. Oh, no, Jesse, the music continues.
Yes. And it's competition.
Yes. And of course, it's Easter. And definitely we want to be, well, for me, I chose songs on my DJ playlist that has to do primarily with Easter. And so the first song on my list is a cover by Kira Sheard. She was doing the song in honor of Donnie McClurkin. Now, when you think of Donnie McClurkin, you think of
Yes.
old school, really soul-stirring kind of music. And he had done a song called Living He Loved Me.
Yes.
Yeah, dying he saved me. Yeah. So she redid that song in honor of Donnie, and I just thought it was a really cool song to put on there. And of course, we have the anthem by William Murphy, and this is a popular worship song. Hallelujah, you have won the victory. Awesome.
Yeah.
Death could not hold you down. His death means so much to us. And of course, my last three songs, I had to put this on there because my album, I think, carries songs for the season, and I just definitely wanted to put it out there. So we have Slain for Me. That's a song that was written by me, and I want to say a big shout out to Style Records for putting my entire album out with songs that just kind of fit almost for every season. And it talks about the power of Jesus dying for us. And then there's Nothing But the Blood, which is an all-time favorite with a Caribbean twist. What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood. It's a Caribbean twist. It's not the regular slow kind of Nothing But the Blood. And then the theme song for Week of Prayer, which we didn't get to talk about, is Jesus Prayed for Me. Very powerful sentiment. One person said, Jesus prays for me. But the truth is that the work of God is already finished. So once he has prayed, it does apply for now and the future. And I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Even though in the scripture text, it was really the prayer for the unity. But, some days we can't even pray for ourselves. And so it's always good to know that there's an intercession that's constantly happening on our behalf. So that's my playlist for this week, Jesse. What's up with your playlist?
Awesome. So I'm going to tell you guys, I don't think mine was updated just yet, but I have all my songs. So the first one is Get Up and Dance by Kelly Price. Now, this recently dropped, so if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. And it's just something that I absolutely love, especially in time of Easter, because sometimes you just got to get up and dance to know that God is here and God is resurrected and he is a living God.
It's a time of rejoicing. He came off the cross. Let's put that out there. No need to be crying and tearing up during Easter. It's actually a great moment.
Yep. So that's the first top song. Second is Something Has to Break by Kira Sheard. So I know we both have the same artist, which is she's just amazing.
I love that song.
Yes. Third one is Moving On by Jonathan McReynolds. I love him. I think I had this song previously on an older playlist.
Yes, we did.
But I cannot get enough of this song. And it's just so instrumental in my life to know that whatever is going on, God's got you. You don't know the reason now. And it could always be better. You don't see the blessing. You don't know what the outcome is, but he did it for whatever reason, even if it may be temporary. And this song is just an absolute reminder. Next up is More by Called Out Music. It's an Afrobeat gospel song that, honestly, the title just says itself. More. You need more. You seek more. You want more from God. And that, again, we're talking about building a relationship with him and having that connection. So the song really does explain that. And the last one is something that is in my cleaning playlist, every single week. is Deliver Me by Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers featuring Leandria Johnson. Listen, Marsha, if you want a song, if you're going through something, even if you're not going through something, this song will get you down on your knees and relive what you went through and turn it into it like a testimony. And if you're going through a dry spell of whatever in your life or lack or whatever, this song reminds you that God will deliver you. God delivered the Israelites out of Exodus. This is absolutely, I love this song. It's just a blessing.
Awesome. And let me make a correction here. The song that I have on my album, Slain for Me, was actually written by Easton Merritt. I want to make sure that I give proper credit. It was written by Easton Merritt, and he got the song in a dream, actually, and then he asked me to sing this song. So just for clarity and to make sure that credits are where they are due, yes, that's it. But I love your playlist, Jesse. But guys, I'm not even sure if we should tell them to go ahead in the comments. I don't know if they're going to vote for both of us or the scale is going to tip.
Yeah, we don't know.
Go over to UMERADIO.com and look for DJ Top 5. Right? Our radio personalities have a playlist over there. I see Keith, DJ KTE in the comments. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. He also has a playlist. So shout out to him too. And he's a musician, not just a saxophonist, but he has a pair of vocal pipes that I cannot begin. And since I heard him doing some little runs and riffs, I'm like, sir, the next time we have you on here, it will not be for travel. We will have you in the talent section.
Yes.
Where you are going to sing. Okay, sir, you are going to bless us with your vocal cords. Amen, church.
Amen.
Oh my goodness. So guys, that's our top 5 playlist. Go ahead and vote. It's a new month, right? So at the end of each month, we will tally up the votes and you will know exactly who won the playlist challenge. And this is just a little activity to make sure that all our DJs, there's a common thread among us. So even in our little meetings and table reads, we have back and forths about this list. Everybody's trying to come up with the best list. And listen, you can also send us your songs that you want us to feature.
Oh.
Yeah. Send us your songs that you want us to feature, and we'd be more than happy to add it to any one of our playlists and give you a shout out for that. Definitely. Wow. All right, guys. So we're going to go over to Travel Boss. Travel Boss is where it's at. So I want to share my story, right? Travel Boss is normally about anything that has to do with travel. You don't necessarily have to be on a plane or anything, but just that. So a few years ago, I was invited to an event in North Carolina where I was a speaker for a youth event. Now, mind you, and God sometimes starts to open doors and get really nervous. But nevertheless, my father encouraged me. He says, you know what, you might feel scared, but go. I went. It was so cool. And young people there are absolutely fantastic. I probably should have posted some pictures of these young people. They are absolutely amazing. Shout out to Apostle Ruth Peterson and Dr. Helen Williams for inviting me to their youth event, and their youth pastors, Helen Vines and Brian.
Oh, I think Marsha's internet cut out really quick. But in the meantime, while she comes back, I want you guys to keep on commenting in our comment section what you guys think of the program so far. Do you have any topics that you want us to talk about later on? And let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And I'm going to go through some of the comments real quick that we have not given a shout out to. Good morning, Lady Latoya J. Thanks for tuning in. And some comments about the book. Thank you guys so much. We have Apostle Faith Walters saying, I love it, quite profound. Keith Merritt, DJ KTE saying it's DJ Jesse. Seriously hidden talent here. So refreshing and putting in order for your work. Thank you so much, you guys. And while Marsha is coming back, we do a little spotlight on Dr. Wanda Thomas. Let's see if the back end, if we have time for that. Can we spotlight Dr. Walter Thomas? Real quick. Real quick. Yes. All right, guys, bear with us. Some technical difficulties, but we got this. We got you guys. Don't worry about it.
Thomas. Listen to Wanda's road to success. Hey America, this is Sebastian Wanda Thomas. Listen to Wanda's road to success. Great wisdom unlimited every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during the Gospel Connection on WNJRradio.com, America's hottest web radio experience. This web radio program offers you information and tools that will help you to become empowered with skills for successful life outcomes. With so many different ways you can listen, you're going to love the way we sound. And now we're on Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play WNJR, be blessed and get connected to us.
Thank you so much.
Marsha is back. Marsha, you want to pop out the box or something? What you doing?
I'm about to share a testimony and this happens, Thank you so much for your patience, guys. And of course, you just watched our spotlight video for Dr. Wanda Thomas. Guys, connect with her. Connect. Right? So I was in the middle of sharing my travel story, right? And so I was supposed to, they decided to, as usual, when you speak at an event, they give you like an honorarium and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And they told me that, they wouldn't be because of taxes and so on. And most U.S. churches, they don't necessarily like give you cash or whatever. They have to, sort out their taxes and so on. So they prefer to run it to an account. So anyway, I had the pleasure of opening my account with a certain bank. And we're not promoting them or anything. And they didn't ask us to promote it or anything. So I don't think I need to call the name. And so this was a couple of years ago. And then I took up my bank card this week and I realized I opened it in North Carolina. I took it up and I realized that it's going to expire this month. So I'm thinking I may need to travel to get this card renewed or get my new card. And this is maybe one of the beauties of a first world country. I was thinking I may need to travel in order to pin the card and in order to pick up the new one. Because in Jamaica, when your card is pinned, for every time you get a new card, you have to go back to the bank in order to put it in a machine to pin the new one.
Oh.
Right? They're saying that once your card is pinned and learning, it's pinned for life. So I'm like, okay, that's nice. So this is after I picked up the phone, decided to call their customer care service to find out, do I really have to spend X amount of money to travel to get my card? I'm like, really? Tell me more. So after they verified my information and to see whether or not I was the true owner of the card, they said to me, okay, we're going to send it to you. As a matter of fact, I was having a challenge because normally if it expires in April, it means that yes, hello at Jamaica, please stay active here. Says yes. So they said they had sent out the card from February to my former location in North Carolina. So I was like, so I asked them if it was possible to cancel the card and grant a new one and send it straight to Jamaica because I was because of restrictions with C-19.
Right.
I'm gonna be traveling. If I have to, I have to, because it's important to maintain your documents
Mm-hmm.
in other countries, because it keeps your connection, and there are many advantages which I'm looking into. So they say, okay, let's just reissue a new card, and when you get the card, it's gonna be already pinned. I was like, yay, right? And so I said to them, how long is it gonna take for it to get here? And surprisingly, they said with the express service that we're going to give you. Note, I did not ask them for the express service. They did not charge me for the express service. They actually, the only charges I paid was perhaps to send it to Jamaica, but not for the express service, which I'm so appreciative of. And they said, you know what, within 1 to 2 days, we'll send it out, and then you'll get it like within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Which I think is it's fair, because
Yeah.
it's a document that's very important. And so, shout out to that bank and the procedures and the processes that they have to make international clients feel like they're being served well. And the customer service rep was absolutely amazing. He did everything to make sure that I will have my card, and I just
Be all set.
He says, Amen. Amen. UMERADIO says, thanks, Bank of America. So it's already out there in the comments. So that's what I said. Thank you, Bank of America. So that's my travel story for this week inside the travel segment, guys. Shout out, definite shout out to them. For sure. All right. So the time is now 10:44. All right. We have with us this morning a very special guest. We are inside the Because We Can segment. And Jesse, do you want to read about Because We Can?
Yes. So because we can, this is our philanthropy segment. And philanthropy is important because it provides opportunities. Philanthropy supports projects and endeavors that may be too unpopular or controversial to gain the widespread support of the general public or the government. For this reason, philanthropy is very important part of a democratic society. And today we have an awesome person as our guest talking about their foundation, Miss Jillian Ann Brown, We Care to Share Foundation. She has been doing charity from a tender age, and she is part from the parish of St. Anne, but has no limit to where she goes to help others. They focus mostly on children's homes, schools, and communities.
Good morning, Miss Brown. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, and to always have you coming back after this too. It's very unusual for it happens, but not in most cases, where philanthropy or charity activities start someone from they were a child. So tell us about what inspired the Care to Share Foundation. That story from when you were little doing charity until the birth of the foundation.
Wow. All right. As the name state, we care to share. I think it was, they said purpose cannot die, right? So, I mean, something that is already birthed, you just have to give in to it. I think it was from a tender age. I think it was age 6 or 7. I started sharing from primary school, going into high school, and then I realized that, hey, I have a love for this. I have a passion for this. So I started doing the small charity within the basic school from the community, within the community that I'm from. Then I realized that persons want to come on board. So I then invite them on board, and I realize it is growing, and I get engaged more and more into it. It is something that I really, really love, because helping others, growing up, your parents will be like, sharing is caring. It is good to share. And then on the Christian end of it, now you know that you have to love one another. So sharing is just a part of who I am. And getting bigger and people coming on board, it is just amazing.
Awesome. So you are located in Jamaica. Tell us about some of the activities that you have been doing and the time of year which you normally execute this project.
All right. My first project was the basic school in St. Anne's Bay. That's in Windsor Road, St. Anne's Bay, where I give back school supplies to the school. And for example, I did partnership with a particular company in St. Anne's Bay as well to provide a computer as well for the basic school. Then I move on to the children home in Mustard Seed that's located in Valley, Alexandra. Yes. So we do the Valley, Alexandra Christmas project. We do it every single Christmas. So my Christmas is not spending with family, but sharing with other persons who think that they don't have a family. So I go out every Christmas and share with persons. So we collect donation from, we just throw the thing out there. So everybody and anybody want to donate, it is welcome.
That is awesome. That is really beautiful. Can you share some of the testimonies or like some stories that you have, maybe that you've helped people, and how the impact that what you're doing is really blessing other families?
All right. There's this particular student at the basic school in St. Anne's Bay. However, the parents didn't know how they are going to get their school supplies to go to school. Nobody knew I had this project in mind to give back to the basic school. And it was the Saturday evening. School reopened the Monday. It was the Saturday evening. I decided that, hey, I have some items. I put it out there to a couple persons, the parliamentarians in the community, and they said, all right, they'll jump on board. And trust me, that parent was indeed happy, because she could actually see that the child will be getting the school supplies that they need, the books, the pencil, the bags, the uniform, and it was amazing. It was amazing. At the end of the school term, I think I have gotten an award stated that was a blessing to them. I wasn't even looking for it, but right. It's indeed a blessing. The children home is the same thing. I remember when I called the managing director there, and she said that we don't have enough supply to provide meals for them. I went ahead and I collect donation, and I go right ahead and give it back to the institution. I also remember every October we do a feeding program for the homeless in Oceanis. And for this year, we'll be doing it the 6th of May, which is my birthday. I don't really celebrate like for myself, but to share with others, So I'll be doing a cooked meal to share with those vulnerable persons.
That is absolutely beautiful. And I love the impact that you have on the communities. I feel like it does take someone of that compassion and truly just God-given gift. I've been stumbling all day to really enact that. So how can people connect with you? Because you're not just limited in one parish, right?
I sent my email is stated kameikabrown@ymail.com. That's KAMEIKA Brown@ymail.com. You can also reach me on telephone 850-850-8543.
That is beautiful. And we have comments coming in from Go Inspire Jamaica Foundation that says, that is wonderful. Keep up the good work and keep inspiring. # Go Inspire. And Apostle Faith Walters missed the last piece that you said with the sound. Missed the last piece that you said with feeding the children that you have that's going on May 6th. on your birthday. If you can say that one more time.
All right, Feeding the Homeless will be taking place the 6th of May in Ocho-Rios. So we'll be providing cooked meal and also clothing and toiletries for the person within the area.
And want everyone to know to reach out on her Instagram if you want to get connected. To go to on her Instagram is Jelenan Brown, JELENANBRON, all one word, at Instagram.com. And we could also connect to you because I know some of our listeners are from the States. If they want to share other supplies and stuff. For citizens in Jamaica. Can you hear me?
Sorry,
did you hear me, Ms. Brown?
No, I did not get that.
Okay. We can also connect to you because I know a lot of our listeners are in the States. Mm-hmm. And can they also reach out to you, to share non-perishable items or clothing or stuff like that to help out?
You could shoot me an email at the email that I provide, or you can give me a call. There's a listing of persons that work alongside with me on the brochure. We have Rachel Grant, the program director, as well. You have Devin Davis, also a program director, if you're unable to reach to me. The phone number are provided there as well.
Right. And the phone number, I'm going to read it off the screen. You could give her a call at 876-850-8354.
That's correct.
Yes. So get in touch with her, guys. I know this project and her foundation is absolutely amazing. And I want to say thank you so much, Ms. Brown, for being a part of our program this morning. I know we're going to hear from you. Probably get connected right on May 6th to, share some pictures and some other testimonies for your upcoming event. I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And I hope that we also are a blessing to you and your foundation and community.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Me, and I pray that you have yourself a wonderful day as well.
You too. Thank you so much, Miss Brown, and all the best on your upcoming project. And take some pictures. Keep us posted. Definitely, we'll get in touch and create a connection for you. All right, so that was Miss Jelenan Brown from We Care to Share Foundation. And if you would like to collaborate with someone that's on the ground, you can also reach out to us at UMERADIO, and we will assist you in making that connection, especially if you desire global impact or to impact persons outside of your area. Definitely, that's what, because we can. We do it because we can. Yeah. It's about, definitely. Thank you so much for that. Look at the time, Jessie.
I know.
This happens to us like every week. We're always at least half an hour over our time.
I know. Do we have time for our cute little picture of the day?
Yeah. Well, we want to do the quiz and the picture of the day. Let's see.
Yeah.
Those two things, and then whoosh, we're out of here.
Go, guys. Love ya.
Yeah, let's try the quiz first. Let's do the quiz first.
Oh, that's the picture.
So tell us the story behind this picture, because this picture was selected by Jessie.
Yes. So I came across, it's really a video. It's like a 2-minute video, but it's this mama bear and her 4 baby cubs that are crossing the road, and she is trying to really assist them to get them on the other side. And there's these 2 cubs, the 2 at the far right there, that are just, I don't know whether they're boys or girls, but they're just very mischievous children. The other 2, Mama Bear picked them up and walked them and said, "Stay there." And they listened. These 2 at the far right kept following her back and forth, like played in the middle of the road. One of them went up the pole, like he was climbing it. And the poor mom had 2 of them, and she was kind of like going back and forth of like picking one up, moving them there, picking you up, moving them there. And then they just kept running back to the same grass area. And she just looked like, I had enough. Like, as 4 of you, can you just follow your other brothers and sisters and just stay where I put you? So yeah, that is the story behind this this photo here.
Yeah, and I remember even when our mom was walking us when we were little, it's the same thing. We're getting ready to cross the road, and she's just there trying to get us to hold hands together to cross the road. And something distracts one of us, and she has to go back like, no, we're about to cross.
Yes, so that's what these poor bear cubs, and it's so nice. The fellow, people in the cars, they just stood and waited for a good 2-3 minutes to make sure that they, got across safely. But
absolutely sweet. Yeah. Thank you so much for the picture of the timing. I made my day today, Jessie. Thank you. UMERADIO says, Jessie, if you be live, 2 mischievous children. And Apostle says, you can do a segment on the power of forgiveness. Thank you for that, Apostle. We will definitely pen that in into our script. At an awesome time. And so before we go this morning, we always have our competition. And I am scared because Jessie's always winning. Let me just put that out there. And so this one is, and tell us in the comments, guys, if you have spot the Easter egg. Because normally when this comes up, it's the first we're seeing it. So we don't know either where the Easter egg is.
Nope.
The logo, thank you. Yes. So we're trying to, we need a timer when we get this. Let's see. We have a minute. Let's see if we can see Easter egg. Ooh, here we go. How do these people make these things though?
And someone getting paid to do this. I mean, this is not fun.
I know, this is crazy. How are we supposed to spot an Easter egg in a field full of flowers? Man.
Flowers and bunnies.
Guys, I'm really not seeing an Easter egg.
Watch it be so obvious.
Wow. Listen, if we don't find this Easter egg this week, it's going to come back next week.
It's going to come back next week. I can't.
I'm looking at the bunnies to see if any part of them has the egg in it.
Yeah, like the ears and.
I'm looking at that little. Oh my goodness. In the meantime, Apostle says, certainly love the upgrades. You can view comments of interactions on varied social networks. Y'all better go ahead with your bad selves. Look at that. Amen. And that overflow is going to come right over to Walmart. Believe it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Jessie.
You found the egg?
No. And time is running out. This is not fair.
I want to say, what if it's this little fuzzy and doesn't look, in the carrots?
Yeah.
If it's a little, it just looks like a bunny's booty. So.
Yeah. Bunny booty. Oh my goodness. I can't
handle it.
Listen, DJ Kelly's on the back end. DJ, talk to us. Can you find the egg? In the comment section, guys, tell us if you're seeing the Easter egg, because this is giving me like a headache.
Is it the full picture? This is it? No other.
UMERADIO says nope. Listen, we're gonna bring this back next week along with the other one, because I'm going to go home and just study. Oh wait, we're at home. This is the virtual space. Okay, but I'm going to take some time to go through this, because I'm not. Is there even an egg in it, or is it
I found the egg. I found it.
You did? Yes. Where is it?
Okay. You see the bunny's ears at the bottom?
Which one of the bunnies?
No body, just ears.
Just ears.
You gotta go
yes,
there.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Now go up and it's next to a red rose. It's a red egg.
Yes! I told you, girl. You wear glasses. So you are going to see these things.
Look, we were both struggling for the same time, Marsha.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, there it is. It's a red egg, people. A red egg. I'm not even sure if it's a healthy egg, but it's there. Congratulations! Some confetti or something every time we find something. Yes, that's the full picture and says, Jesse, you are out next. Go sit down somewhere, Jesse, so the rest of us can win, okay? It's not fair. Every week. So that was definitely a fun one. And we want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And we trust you are inspired, motivated, and educated. All our guests, support team, thank you so much for making today's show what it was. To the audience, don't be afraid to connect with us. Reach out to us. If you forgot to read your comments, please don't charge it to our hearts, charge it to our heads. And, we'll definitely always try to make sure that we read your comments, share them, and interact with you on a weekly basis. So join us each week right here on
Weekends with Marsha J and Jesse. Bye, guys.
Oh, Apostle says breaking up. We're sorry about that, Apostle. We'll keep working on it.
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, yes, girl. Get your cup of tea and mic check, 1, 2. I am so ready
to inspire, motivate, and educate. Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up, and so are we.
News, interviews, hot topics. Connect with us. Let us know what's on your mind. Follow, comment, subscribe.
We're everywhere. UME Radio app, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, and all other digital platforms. Email us info@umeradio.com. On WhatsApp, 201-503-6731. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio. Follow me, Jessie, on Instagram at ink.jess, that's ink.jess, and on Facebook at Jesselyn Abel, that's JESSELYNE Abel, ABEL.
And follow me, Marsha J, on all social media platforms at official Marsha J. Or you can just check out marshajnow.com.
Weekends on UME Radio with Marsha J and Jessie.
Amplifying the voice of positive influencers.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.